pin the title, so we don't have to use the pin. It's all good. What up, Lynn? Bell, Dino. What up, my brother? What up? Appreciate the words of encouragement, my brother. They have stuck, and I'm gonna show you something, Dino. I want to show you. I'll show you something. I wonder if it's still in this phone. I might have erased it, but we're gonna see. Never split the difference when we go the edge. Hold on, y'all. We're gonna get everybody back. Hold on, let me see if I can find QV. Cause she probably stuck in the other live. She's still a newbie, y'all. She gotta figure everything out. QV, where are you? Hold on, y'all. Oh, my bad. I was looking down, Dino. I didn't even see that you sent the request, bro. I didn't even see.
Yo.
What up, bro?
Man, I really like the title. And the reason that I like the title so much is because I have a general statement. And ladies, I want you to hear me out. And I'm definitely willing to listen to your opinion on my opinion. So this is where I'm at with it. Well, I see if you could get a couple Bill or maybe a couple more ladies in here.
Oh yeah, they got. Listen, we just had the whole live jumping and it cut off. I didn't even get a chance to catch it. That's why I don't like the iPhone. It doesn't even give you some sort of alert. Nothing.
Yeah. No, I want the ladies, not necessarily for the total people watching, but so that they can be on the line and hear what I have to say and then immediately respond without having time. Because
I don't really know that many women, bro. Hold on.
Bill is on here. Bell is on here. Get in here, Bill. Nikki Monroe is in here.
Nikki ran. She heard that she was one of the women in here.
Dana Corny Gay
Jenny
is in here. But anyway,
Jenny in here.
I'm gonna get right to it. And this is what I'm gonna say. Now, no disrespect to my ladies. Y'all work hard. Y'all so independent now. And technically you can do whatever you want with your money, right?
Right.
But I just want to say this. When you save up that $10,000 or whatever it may cost and you decide to get that BBL stands for Brazilian butt lift.
Okay.
But for all my ladies that have decided to get the BBL, but you already got too much ass, when you go to get the BBL, tell the doctor, hey doc, just throw that belly, side, and back fat you sucked out in the garbage can. I already got too much booty. So when you suck out all that fat and put fat on top of the booty that's already too much booty, it don't be looking right. I mean, where in life does a let's say a cane. How is it that you have two canes with basketball sitting on top of them? It don't be looking right. Yeah, when you suck out that fat, you already got too much booty. Now you got booty on top of booty.
Bring one of your
That's
fat booty friends in there with you and help her out.
Yeah, that's just booty, booty, booty. Yeah, tell them just throw the fat away. So in other words, you don't need the BBL. Just get the tummy tuck. Tuck the tummy and the body in the other fat and just throw it in the garbage can. They are convincing you to suck the fat out and inject it in your booty.
Hey, yo, peep the
Booty,
Field
booty,
of
booty,
Dreams.
booty.
Wait. Peep the Field of Dreams quote. Imagine if you had a doctor's office and you were doing asses injections, and you called it, and you said, if you build it, they will come.
Right.
Oh, excellent, sir.
Oh my God.
Oh, they will come. Oh, great black Amish man. I tell
That'd
you.
be
And was
perfect.
it the Up All Night show with Swaz?
The next man.
Oh, you missed
Did they
White Boy
have the
Kev.
Up All Night show?
Yeah, White Boy Kev was out here. I got in trouble for alienating my black people. Kev came through. Yeah. He be back.
My hair is like cotton.
He be back.
Yeah, I'm trying to get QV back in here. QV was about to twerk for the live, so that's really why the question was posed. It wasn't posed for all the women. It was more or less posed just for her.
Yeah, I don't know how to twerk. I don't know. I can't do it.
She was the one that offered. She offered. We didn't ask. She offered the live.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see the get Angie. Well, Angie ain't gonna.
That's from Tanzania. That's a different type of twerk. That's from the motherland twerk, bro. She about to twerk the fufu out of us.
And you know what used to go up? We used to collect money when the pandemic started. We used to have each guy donate $5 to Swaz Cash App, and then all day throughout the day he would announce, okay, the Cash App is now up to $60. Okay. 3 hours later, the Cash App is up to $150. Okay, the Cash is at. You could donate whatever you wanted, but nobody, $1, $2. It's like donate whatever you want, and it got so. And we would have a twerk battle, and it would be the two people would come on live, and they would twerk against each other. And then whoever won at the end, they would get the money sent to their Cash App. But it was called the twerk circus. And so at first it was regular twerking. No, serious talk. It was regular twerking. And then when the Cash App started getting up, they had like some of the homies that had weed dispensaries and shit that go to the strip club and spend like $500. Sometimes it might be up to like $2,300 for the winner that night. So they started forwarding the shit to women in like El Salvador, Colombia, Brazil. You had them twerking and lighting shit on fire and dancing in the middle of the circle of fire. It just got way. That's why they called it the twerk circus, because it was like they was rubbing jelly on each other and shit.
No, Jenny, it was not my live. I was simply just Swaz. I was just there.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't his live. I was using him as an example. The person who did it is actually Nate Jackson, the homie Nate Jackson. He's an actor, comedian. He owns a comedy place in Seattle now, but he also played a role on a recent TV show where he was like the uncle. Like the guy that wears the mechanic suit, jumpsuit all the time. He was like that guy.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and he used to be, I think he was on Wild 'N Out too. Nate Jackson.
Belle, make sure when you see Mac later today, let her know that Swaz saved you. Okay.
That you did
That's
what?
all you gotta tell you. Say Swaz saved you. You know that, Matt?
Okay.
Even after you sat there in that comment section and flung insults, he still saved
Mm.
Oh, something I missed?
What's
Apparently.
She took a
What's
nap
up,
on the live.
Marie Smith? My
Okay.
homegirl Marie Smith is
Hello,
on here.
Marie.
She used to be a writer for Hannah Montana.
Isn't that something? I was just thinking about Hannah Montana, but
Mm.
Miley Ray
You
Cyrus.
be thinking about him? What?
No, twerking. She was on my mind, and I almost
Thinking
said the
about
name.
her twerking?
Black
Well,
Rose, what's up? Good morning. Al,
Are you
Al,
listening
what's
to her
up,
right now,
Al?
Dino? Dino, are you at
Mm.
all paying attention to what Bella's saying?
Go ahead, Bill. I'm sorry.
Did you hear
I
what she
see
said? She
you.
just said that she be thinking about Hannah
No,
Montana
I don't be
twerking
thinking
all the
about it.
time.
I thought about it just
Oh,
now when we were talking about
my
twerking.
bad.
No, not the song Hannah Montana, the actual show with the what's
Right.
the girl? She's famous now, I guess. I
Miley
looked it
Ray
up when
Cyrus.
she told me.
What up,
Yeah,
Henny?
exactly.
Well, she
Yeah,
twerked on
you
the
know more
stage for
about
the
it than
first
me.
time, like several years ago.
That sounds awkward.
But it did draw media attention. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
American Music Awards or if it were, I don't know which one.
Yeah, some stuff should have just been left alone. But it's giving me like those people say, it's giving me weird. Because it's almost like I don't want to see what's the girl that went crazy and cut all her hair off?
Like I just did. I'm listening.
What was the white rock pop star that cut all her hair off? And
Sinead
she had to
O'Connor.
pay her.
Oh, Britney Spears.
I think
Yeah,
Sinead
Britney Spears.
O'Connor.
Oh my God. It's giving me like thinking about Britney Spears twerking. It's giving me weird.
But if you had to choose Britney Spears as opposed to Hannah Montana, well, Miley Ray Cyrus,
You could have woke
twerking,
up to
which one?
somebody twerking, but she chose otherwise, Prince. Just
Who would you choose,
A
Dino?
twerk history combo. Exactly, bro. At
Twerk history.
4.
For
Early.
5,000.
somebody definitely abandoned the ship. Did not go down with the captain. Yes.
Who was that?
Al is from Boston,
QV.
and he's the one that turned me into an alcoholic single-handedly. He
Damn.
was my
Oh,
he
nice.
was my roommate in college, and he used to go. Him and Kyle, and I'm ratting him out on live. Him and Kyle used to go to the liquor store around the corner and buy fucking 40s. That's the nastiest beer called Mickey's. And I had
Mickey's.
my first drink, Mickey's beer. When I drank it, I took the first. They passed the 40s around back then. This was before monkeypox, so we we used to share 40. So you take the bottom of your after the person take his drink, you take the bottom of your T-shirt and you wipe off the part of the bottle with your T-shirt where the other person drank. Pause. So they passed me the bottle the first time. I took a sip and it was like I had bit into a spoiled egg. It was nasty as shit. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm trying to be cool, but I'm thinking to myself, y'all spend money on this shit? It's nasty as fuck.
I still feel like
And
that.
then I passed it around. By the time I took that second gulp, and then it passed around right before it got back to me, that little buzz hit me. My eyes got squinty like I had hit some weed. Oh, man, I never turned back.
What
I
up,
was hooked.
Buzzo? That was the exact opposite. I'm glad I got my experience. You know, the first time I got really wasted, Dino, I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
We used to go in the liquor store. We was probably 14, 15 years old. It was, all the older dudes in the
Early.
park. They was looking for whatever was popping at the time. At that time, it was Moet, Sean Don, Hennessy. Certain shit was just popping, right? And if you can get your hands on these bottles, automatic sale. So a young man with no money, I came to find one of those stores that were a little laxed, needless to say.
Right.
Imagine that.
I showed up at the park with the full gallon of Henny, whatever that biggest bottle is. Somehow I
Yeah,
managed
the
to got
big
it out of
joint.
there. Yeah, I got it out of there. I get to the park,
Right.
we all sipping, right? Yo,
Mm-hmm.
I get so drunk, bro. I don't even remember. I'm passed out. Next thing I wake up,
Smash.
niggas is fucking. They burning shit on fire, yo, bro. I thought I woke up in a war zone, bro.
It was crazy.
Yo, it's fucking crazy, yo, bro. I got up, got on my little old bike, and proceeded to like woozy on home. It was my first woozy
Yeah.
experience, and I said, yo, nah, I ain't drinking. Like that, that shit fucked me up, cause I'm like, yo, that shit crazy. I don't even know what happened. I like, yo,
Well,
liquor
What
took
y'all
was
me.
it?
know
What do you like?
alcohol is
Mad
the.
Dog? What was it that you had?
No,
Y'all
it was
know
a Henny,
alcohol.
the big bottle of Henny. We all
Oh,
a bunch
I'm
of young ass
sorry.
kids drinking that crazy shit at once.
So now I'm going to give you my story. It wasn't about me getting smashed. It was about the actions, more like when you said they was lighting shit on fire when you woke
Mm,
up. So we used to get drunk and get or tipsy and get silly than a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So I had one roommate. His name was Dave. He was a square dude. He wore glasses. And I was playing basketball at the time with Jason Kidd. Well,
Oh,
he's
okay.
playing NBA, yeah, NBA top 75 legend, all star, you know, 20-time all star Jason Kidd, right.
Hell yeah.
So, so we at UC Berkeley. So David was
the
a
one that brought it
square
home for the
from,
Nets. Yes, Mr. Kid. Thank you.
he brought it home. He brought it home actually in Dallas.
No, when I mean
Him
brought
and
it
the
home, just
Whiskey.
the fact that you guys actually considered the Nets. Like, just
Right.
at that point in time, even mere
Right.
consideration.
Right, him and Vince Carter. But check game. So we had a roommate. We had me and Al, that's still on here, hopefully. We had a roommate named Dave, and he was a square dude from LA. He was in the Bay Area going to college, had glasses, and he was a nerdy dude who was a person that was in the band. I think he played some type of horn. He played some type of horn or trumpet or something, right?
Yeah.
So you know from watching Drumline with Nick Cannon that
Yeah.
the band members got to get up super early because they got to be able to go on the field while the football players, the soccer players, and everybody else use the field is still asleep. Of course, the player's going to have priority to practice over the band. So that band got to have awkward ass hours to be able to get on the field. So he might need to get up at like 6 o'clock to be on the field at like 6:30 so that they could practice maybe till 7:30 and then get out of the way and go to class. So we got off the Mickey's one night, and when we got off the Mickey's, it was my bright idea to change his clock
No,
from saying from so it was like maybe 12 at night. So I changed his clock from 12 to like 1 or 2 a.m. because he had an alarm clock on it. So I pushed him forward 2 hours. So when his alarm clock went off, he's thinking it's 8. He's thinking it's 6 o'clock. He's thinking it's 6 o'clock, but it's really 4 a.m., not
mm,
6 a.m. He gets up, brushes his teeth, puts his clothes on, puts on his glasses. He grabs his trumpet, and when he opens the door and steps outside, it's still pitch black outside. We just hear him say, I guess he looked at his watch. I guess he looked at his watch and figured out it was like 4:15 a.m. And we just heard him yell, "No!" Oh my god! Oh my god! You talking about funny as
No,
a
he said he yelled your
motherfucker.
name. He
My
said he
upper
yelled
stomach
you.
muscles hurt,
He
Dino.
said Dino. He knew it was already you.
Dino,
He already knew it was you.
Dave.
That means you was one of them. He already knew there was no question about it.
But no coming back from waking up from that. Going back to
He like,
Oh,
Dino.
Dino, what the fuck? I already told this nigga.
Oh,
Always
cold blooded.
playing.
oh, that shit was classic, bruh. That was some of the most funniest times of my fucking life. We was crazy, dude. We were crazy. Another thing we used to do is we have a restaurant in California called Denny's, and Denny's is like IHOP. It stays open 24 hours and they
Okay.
known for good breakfast food.
Thank
So
you
we
for
was in
asking that.
college. We had a little money, but we was trying to save money. But Denny's was the after party. So we would all go in there deep. We'd holler at the little chicks and shit like that. Everybody flirting, drunk, trying to bring their high down. So what we would do is anybody like that got up to go wash their hands after the club late night, while they were gone to wash their hands, we would unscrew the salt and the pepper and just leave the top. You know how it's glass with the chrome top? So they starving, they ready to eat, and when they go to sprinkle the shit, the whole shit just dump on their plate. Pow!
Hate
Or we
hate
would
that happens.
over salt they shit. You go to wash your hands and your food come and you still in the bathroom, oh, we salting your shit down. You gonna have high blood pressure. And motherfuckers are already drunk, so they gonna take like 4 bites before they realize, and you your mouth just draw up because of the. Oh yeah, crazy shit.
Dino's just ripping me
Yeah.
apart today. I'm telling you, I'm just like,
Oh yeah, we was crazy, and then we would also have when the homegirls start coming, we'd be like, all right, y'all, this gonna be one of them days. Eat whatever the fuck you want. Order dessert, order the steak, or order the
oh,
steak
I
and
knew you were
eggs.
going somewhere else
Order
with
the
that.
fucking yeah, order the steak and eggs. Order milkshakes. Order whatever the fuck you want. This is one of them days. So everybody ordering fat. Everybody ordering fat. The bill might come out to like $100 or whatever, right? Because this was like in the
Let me
90s.
see.
And then when everybody almost done, we start faking like we arguing. Yeah, bitch ass nigga, who the fuck you talking to? This East Oakland nigga. Oh, nigga, this such and such, such and such. And then we tell one of the homies, go ahead. And everybody start running. We run out the fire exits and the whole restaurant clear out, but then we don't have to pay the bill.
Ain't no bills got paid fucking with you, Dino. Fuck them.
Bills, but we
Yeah,
be full as hell. You already full, nigga. I done ordered an 8, bro. Oh, yeah. We was wild, bro. We was super wild.
That was more than super wild.
And don't get caught too drunk. We sliding out one at a time on you. It might be like 5 to 8 of us at the table. We start nudging each other with the elbow, like, okay, this nigga too wasted. He off the purple, the granddaddy purple weed and the drink. He's slipping right now. All right, we done ate. I'm about to go to the bath. Oh yeah, man, I gotta use the bathroom. You go like you going to the bathroom and just slide out. Go get in the car and spin off. Now it's 7 of y'all. Then the other one like, oh yeah, man, I gotta use the bathroom. Next thing you know, out of the 8 of us, it'd be like 3 or 4 left, and they bring the bill, and they like, yo, where's so and so and them go? I didn't have this shit. Where
I think I'm safe that I missed those experiences. What happened to
right,
me?
you gotta be.
What you say?
Right, cloud 9.
Oh,
Right, cloud 9.
yeah.
Oh shit,
You have to be on cloud 9. If that's your best friend, you have to be on cloud 9 to do such a thing. Like, yo.
yeah, you gotta be,
Your
and you
code.
gotta be. Yeah, we was spinning also. leaving them with the whole bill. Now the waitress over there trying to figure out who got what. Yeah, I didn't have a motherfucking triple bacon pancake special and all that shit. So they just stuck there and selling empty dishes and glasses.
1,000%. I'll try everything.
Who's this friend? That's a new friend. What's her name?
That's Miss to Twerk or Not. That is.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I need you. Wait. I need y'all to slow down when you read the last part. That is the question.
Twerk. Let her twerk. Just tell her give us like.
I thought she wasn't coming back.
It's a little bit too late for that because I read my Bible.
Come on, Mom.
Right now.
Come on, Mom. You could give us like a good 9 seconds. It's gonna change the whole perspective on the day.
That's pretty cool. Devin is here. She would probably follow your lead.
I'm gonna have to fuck around and follow you and unfollow somebody else just to have to catch you doing that shit. What is her name? Her name is Vivian. Oh, you in Africa? Mabiba? I love that name. Is that an African name?
How did Mabiba? Bruh, what the fuck is Mabiba?
Huh? Take your name off.
Instagram trying to expose me and shit.
No.
Yes, it says Vivian Mabiba.
That's probably from
what
your Facebook.
In the world?
Facebook is connected, right?
What the fuck?
Never connect your Facebook. Never connect your Facebook.
Say it a few more times, Gino, whatever his name is.
Sorry, excuse my language, but what the entire
Unless
world
you want your name out there.
Her face is cute.
Oh, because I
he looked like a little young.
What the fuck?
He looked like a young hot thing.
It is one of the 22, Dino.
Belle looking good too. Hey, did you see? Hey, pause. Hey, wow. Did you see them fucking? Did you see Belle's like newest 2 pictures? Did you see Belle's like newest 2 pictures on her page, bro? Crazy on some supermodel shit.
You missed it.
Belle got some new pictures up, bro. You gotta go look. It's like supermodel, like professional runway portraits. I was like, is that Belle? But you told me a long time ago when we first met, you was like, I'm going to.
That's it. What I told you to do.
Yo, you know what just happened, right?
What I said.
I tried to warn him. He wasn't listening.
Oh. Hello?
Come on, QV.
She's
Don't
not going
be
to twerk
silly,
for you?
QV. She pissed off.
Why? But why? What happened? I don't know.
You know what happened?
Jenny know what happened. I tried to warn you. You wouldn't let me talk. I tried to tell you.
What happened?
I said something. I got in trouble. And you wasn't listening. I'm like, yo, Dino, I just got in trouble. And then so I guess you got some sort of block or something on you. Because when she camped herself down, she took you with her. And I think you just sent me a message.
You got in trouble with her? Or with Instagram?
No, what I said. You missed it. You wasn't listening.
Instagram be listening?
No, she was listening.
Oh. Yeah, bro. Like, Instagram's crazy. I think I'm in trouble right now. I don't think I can go live because of that time when we had that dude on there and he started talking about, yeah, I'm not into the gay rights or some shit he was talking about. And then I said, nah, he's definitely zesty. I said, dude is into trannies. And everybody started laughing. Or I said trannies or she-males. I said trannies or she-males or something. And after I got like 5 minutes later, it gave me a warning on I wasn't even on live. And I was just scrolling through and the thing popped up like, you made this statement, blah, 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 on live, which goes against our rules, and you can have your page deleted for this. and I had to, and I tried to just get out the app, and then I had to. It wouldn't let me. Even every time I opened the app back up, it was still right there on the screen. I had to click OK, OK, OK
Wait,
to whatever they said.
I don't know what you're talking about, sir. What is
You got
the nature
reported.
of your conversation?
Wait, so you got reported to IG?
Yes.
I
Damn.
don't know what for.
First of
For
all,
saying the word tranny or
Oh no,
she-male or
you
something
can't
like
say
that.
that. You can't say that.
I'm
Tranny.
telling you,
I typed it.
Yeah, you can't type it either.
IG is not
Either one.
playing. Like they
I don't
on
know
it.
what
They
you're saying.
ass.
Didn't somebody buy it? Didn't the
Oh,
dude
that's
Elon
right,
Musk
Trey.
buy
Georgia.
Facebook
That's what you're
or
saying.
Twitter or something?
Nah, that was Elon
He,
Musk that was gonna buy Twitter, but that deal fell through.
Is that fair?
oh, is Donald Trump back in these Instagram streets yet?
He was never in them. You
Yeah,
talk
he
about Twitter.
was.
He was in the Twitter street.
He was on Instagram too.
I don't never remember Donald Trump on no damn Instagram. Instagram belonged to us, y'all. Black
Mean
people.
Twitter.
Okay.
TikTok is pretty getting up there. My 12-year-old niece asked to befriend me last night.
TikTok is too weird for me. It just gets very weird too fast for me on that shit.
TikTok. They said TikTok is like really.
So you got TikTok, Snapchat.
Right.
What's the other third one that
Twitter.
came after Instagram? After Instagram.
After the gram?
YouTube? No, YouTube is
What
always.
what you call it?
TikTok
No, no,
and
no, no, no.
Snapchat.
Snapchat, yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Snapchat.
I thought it was Snapchat and then TikTok. They both owned by,
No. Hey, yo, y'all
Asia.
remember that MySpace? MySpace was way out before
Wait,
Space.
whoa, Justus, what?
Yeah, I
Are you
remember
trolling?
MySpace.
Are you fucking trolling? Because this ain't
Wait,
the
who's
live you're gonna
trolling?
find it.
Hey, you can get the
Find
hell
it.
out of here.
Find
Who is
that.
that
Find
trolling?
them. Find those. Find that. That's
Oh,
a real
that's.
person. I know that
I
person.
need help.
Relax. That's a real guy.
Oh, that's
And
the.
Oh,
that's
okay.
not the. You got the wrong live, bro. Wrong. Way wrong
No,
live. Way wrong.
seriously.
Hey, listen.
I
So
don't know,
if he
Swazzy.
wants
Swazzy, you need to check
if,
that because that dude look
He's
like a
special.
troll.
That's
if
not
he
a
wants
troll. I
that
know what the
type of
fuck that is.
girlfriend, I'm
He
not
a
gonna
grown
say the
virgin.
word. Listen, what does that mean? Does he even know what that means?
He doesn't.
Because if he
Listen. He's
says
never
it
been
like
laid.
that,
He's never been laid. He wants
listen,
to
does that
sleep with a
Out of
man.
the
He's
town.
wild.
based on how he stated it,
Right.
doesn't that mean that it's really a woman that takes the hormones and then she has a beard and a mustache now?
Yeah.
You see how
Yeah.
he stated it? You see how he stated it?
Yeah.
Oh, so a dude that a dude. Well,
I'm trying to figure it out. Isn't there such thing as the
y'all
T
really want to
word
know?
and then
Y'all really
man?
want to know, huh?
What's the difference between the T word man and the T
This is what
word
you doing
woman?
at
Which one
7:54
is
on a Sunday?
which?
Yes,
Which
7:54.
one is which? If he said,
7:54.
oh, if he said if I want a translation man, does that mean that that's the woman that changed into a man
I
or a
don't.
man that
You
changed
know,
into a
I don't
woman?
I'm
know.
not connected enough to the
Excellent
story.
observation.
I would naturally assume Just has been trying to get up on the live since every time he's gotten in here, right? And I'm not letting up on the live. And he has finally just said, I'm gonna drop whatever is going to get me some attention. Now he's gonna start dropping numbers and additions. He's
Okay,
doing
here we
Rain Man
go.
the whole live. It's gonna be Rain Man.
Look at what he says. Look at what he says. I am ready to talk to you all. I'm a single 28-year-old man in a house in Tampa or Western Florida that has 4 bedrooms and 3
What?
bathrooms, and he wants to give one of those bedrooms to one of those people
He lives with his parents.
for a play toy.
He can't even
He
tell you
wants
he
a
lives with
play
his
toy.
parents.
No.
How are you gonna offer your parents' house up on the live right now? What are you doing?
Yo, is this a troll?
Well,
Are you serious?
no, he's saying he likes dresses, but he wants a Frank to come along
Yep.
with the dress.
Yo, yo, yo,
Yeah.
yo, Justin,
Okay. You need to
Justin.
clarify this.
Anybody like some
Swazzy
water?
is
No,
up
I
here.
don't need. No. Y'all don't know what y'all walking into. No.
He
Oh,
wants
that's the
Frank.
special guy. Yeah, I know who that is.
Yes,
He wants frankincense and myrrh.
he is very special. Very special.
I was watching Instagram the other day. I died. It was a dude that was like Dominican or Puerto Rican or Brazilian. They was in another country, and he was speaking hella fast in Spanish, and he was holding a microphone. He had like blonde hair at the top, like that football player for the Rams. You know who I'm talking about. You know, where your hair is dark all around the sides, but just the top of your hair, like the kid and play part at the top is dyed blonde.
Right.
Well, he had one of them
my
type of haircuts. Yeah, he holding the microphone,
Looking like
and then
for
he's
the puppies.
speaking in Spanish.
Oh my
He
God.
say to the one guy, "Hey, qué pasó, amigo? Blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah." And then another lady comes in the screen. She's a little darker than both of them. They both like my color, looking like Sammy Sosa's nephews, and that guy start kissing the girl in the mouth. Kiss, 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 right in front of the camera. And then he said, "Hey, all right, hey, to the microphone." And then he started talking to the guy. The guy got his eyebrows pursed and shit. He's like, "Yeah, okay, so, ¿dónde eres?" "Oh, me from such and such city." And then he say, "Okay." And then he say, "And what is your name? ¿Cómo se llama?" And he say, "Yeah, mi Pablo." And then he say, "And ella, ¿qué es la name?" And she say, "Enrique." And the
Oh.
dude that just kissed her in the mouth, his eyes bucked. Get
I seen that
Transformer.
before. I seen that
Oh,
before.
that shit was crazy. Then the second guy, his feelings was so hurt. Yeah.
Justice, I'm
It's
ready to
too
talk to you.
early.
Nobody's talking.
This nigga, I'm
Okay.
ready to
I
talk
come
to you.
on.
Wait, yo, QB.
Hey, y'all get him in
Wait,
here.
wait.
I'm out of here, bro. Get him in here. I'm
No,
out of here. Get him in here now.
hey,
No,
hey, I'm about to,
Gino.
hey, Swazi, I'm about to go
Gino.
down. Get him in here, yo.
No.
Yo,
Y'all really trying to hold a live hostage?
no,
So
but
what's going on?
No. They trying to
yo,
hold a
this
live
nigga,
hostage. They trying to make me bring Justice up, and I know what happens.
Oh, I
yo, but
know.
this
Oh God.
nigga said more.
And you know,
What you trying to smoke?
Yo, see, this is what happens when you know what's behind the curtain and everyone else doesn't. Like,
yes,
Bell.
was. I
They
And
was.
it's
I
but
was
like,
glad
and
to
you're
hear.
calling out to
like,
your friends like, no, don't do that. No, don't go there. And they're like, no, I'm going. No. You know I'm gonna go because what happened was last week no,
yo, did
you
you
don't want to
just hear
go there.
was this nigga said I
All
need
right,
help?
all right, fine,
I need
fucking
help
fine.
finding a girlfriend.
All right.
Oh,
What do you
bro,
think
Look.
he needs to?
All right. If Jenny gives it a go, if Jenny
you're,
says okay, I'll do it.
you're not gonna
Simple.
find that on
Just
Fuzzy
finish.
Live,
Jenny. A matter of fact,
Girlfriend, Jimmy.
I need
You
two.
know
I
that
need
was you
two.
at first.
Jenny and QV would have
I,
to say it's a go.
yeah, please say that because I'm confused. What is he talking about?
Yo, I don't think you know. So why are you
It's
so
different.
concerned with that particular dude, Just?
It's different.
What did he do? Tell us
I
stories, man.
I need help finding a girlfriend. Bruh, you're not gonna find
Different
Yo,
that.
set of standards for him.
Yeah, but
oh,
you can't use that
no,
word.
The
they're not
guy, you
typing.
know.
Yep,
Yeah.
the ladies have spoken because they haven't spoken. Simple. We good. We go any
Yo,
other direction besides that one.
So you bringing
why
him
would
up or not? No. What you
Oh
gonna say?
no, Jenny. Jenny.
yo
Jenny.
give him a 2 minute time time clock.
Fucking Jenny.
Okay. Stop
Jenny.
watching.
Somebody put on a stopwatch.
Uh,
Is he gonna come up?
I
He got
do
two.
this. I do this with full regret.
Oh.
Disclaimer: none of these statements that are going to be made by Justice
Hello.
Oh
are
my,
held by for other
yo.
people on this panel. This
Just
right
Good
when I
morning.
here,
come up. Just when I'm up
this
here.
right
Is it
here,
good
you
morning?
must be at least 4'7" to be on this live. Simple.
Why
4'7"?
can't you show your face?
Hold on.
Okay.
Please do not start screaming in your mother and father's house. We do not need any problems. Yes?
Yeah. We don't even know.
You're talking to people that have their own places, Just. The louder conversation
Okay.
in the mom's house. Just,
All right.
allow me to introduce you to the live for those that don't know you. This is Just. He is a known Christian conservative. He is in his 30s, known virgin. Actually,
20s.
I gave you a couple
38.
years. You
Okay,
just
so
better
I'm
hold on. Wait for who he is. He's in his 20s. He's a virgin. He
38.
is ready to die without ever sleeping with a woman.
what in the
He's ready to
Rather
world?
die.
die.
He's he has come to the conclusion that
What?
possibly he wants to take a walk on the wild side, I guess. And
I don't know. He indicated maybe.
and I'm gonna say this again. The lie has taken control and says, Swaz, we want to fucking know more about this shit. I don't. I fucking don't. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you 3 to 6 minutes, depending on how I
Yeah.
feel.
Oh,
Depending on
really?
how I feel. And
Thank
y'all can
you,
go ahead and
Swaz.
be the inquisitors that you all know you can be. Enjoy.
Thank you for
Belle,
that gift.
Devin, enjoy. I'm
Okay.
chilling.
Hello. Thank you. Hi,
Hello.
Hello.
Justus.
Had to prepare a little bit to talk to you all.
I know.
Okay.
I set you up. I'll let you get out the house, bro. Come on. You owe me.
Yes, you're out.
I actually know the password to the
I know it
network
too.
at this house now.
I know it. It's stay the hell off the Wi-Fi, Justice. That's what the
Wow.
fuck that shit. That's the password. Stay out.
Yeah.
My mother showed me the router or something yesterday.
She snuck it. She
Okay.
snuck it to you.
The password is on there.
But did your dad? Does
So
your dad know that you have it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wow.
We should check.
All right. Well, ask y'all crazy questions,
I'm
ladies.
Don't
can
wake
you
him now.
can you
Don't wake him up.
can you clarify your message? I just want to know.
I'm kind of joking, I guess. I guess you could say that.
You
Yeah,
Wait,
trolled in order to get up on the
sense of
live, yes,
humor.
Justice.
wait, you kind of joking?
I told
That
you
don't
he
sound like a
trolled.
joke to me.
Nobody believed me. He's trolling. He trolled
He's
because he
different.
hadn't spoken to us in a long time, and he felt like he needed some attention. And this is what
Oh, okay.
children do, right? Don't children act out poorly when they want attention?
He is the most unique person, one of the most unique people in the
So
world. He's right here, America,
so
So now
and
that you
global
have us,
community.
what do you want
Justice.
to tell us, Just? What dates, what numbers are we missing from our lives? Do tell.
I don't know. I've just been reading about Bill Clinton. He was president of the United States when I was born. He was 47 and president then.
Okay.
That was a very emphasized 47 for a reason, or does that number mean something to you?
No, but
Oh, nothing.
It's
so
pertinent fact. Pertinent. 47. Gotcha.
Al Gore was 45 and vice president then.
Okay.
Actually, Bill Clinton was 360 months or 30 years
Yes.
when my mother's brother, her uncle,
Yeah.
Pablo Miguel Roma, was born in Curacao, or this Caribbean island,
Okay.
on August 9, 1977.
All right.
Where are
And
we going?
This is what y'all wanted.
so
Bro,
What else you want to tell us for today?
your 3 minutes about to be up.
One of the most
there's
unique
that.
people on the planet. Justin, what else do you want to tell us about when you were at dinner the other night? And you were there to see a lady that you mentioned?
No.
She was a waitress who had given you a boner or something that you liked her a lot.
No, that's not it.
Well, I
He
mean,
already explained it, Dino. He trolled the live. I already told y'all. Nobody listens to me.
all right. He's up, Swazi. He.
So
All
You're
right.
serious, though.
All right,
Tell us
so now
about
that you
that.
trolled the live, would you date a trans girl? Yes or no? Be honest.
Yes, he would.
That's yes. All
Yes,
right.
yes,
So Justice,
yes,
I know that you have a strong addiction to the moving naked pictures on screen. Yes.
yes. He does.
No,
Okay.
no, I
Maybe
don't
not
know.
an addiction,
No,
but let's just say they call you and you tend to pick up. Yes.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
So all right, Justice.
All right.
Do
yeah. So
you
Sunshine,
interact
Justice
with
is.
only heterosexual porn?
Yes, he does.
yes. Look, no, don't worry about that.
Okay, he's
Anyways,
very honest.
No, yes.
Wait a
I'm
minute.
gonna tell you.
Don't worry about
Wait a
that.
minute.
No, yes. Yeah,
I was just
everybody
You
has.
saying.
said
Listen,
yes, so it's
listen.
yes. Like,
The only reason
stand
why
on
you're up
what you
there
said.
is because everyone wants to have the answers to these questions. So you're here. Yes.
He doesn't like to lie,
yeah, don't
huh?
worry about that.
You never lie.
How
So,
the hell did you
anyways,
Okay,
yeah,
get back?
I've been look.
Listen, wait.
good
How the
answer.
fuck did you get back inside so quickly?
I'm the backyard is not that far away from where I am right now, and I'm addicted. I'm addicted to Kick, that was released 12 years ago when I was 16 on
No, I
Friday,
think
June
you were
20.
15 actually.
Bro, that's a freaking kid website. I mean, a kid app. Like, who?
Friday,
What's the name of it?
June
Yeah.
25,
No,
Yeah,
2010.
but
my
10 years
13.
ago, he's probably like 15 years old, 14 years old, weren't you?
Right.
When he was watching what, porn?
It's
No,
not really
he's still
just
watching fucking porn. He's doing all that shit.
At
that's a
15.
misconception people have. It's really not just for teenagers and people like that.
Yo,
Uh,
who kick though? Like, nobody gets on kick
When was the last
Well,
except
time
for
you
kick.
molested yourself with your hand?
I,
3 hours ago,
so
Huh?
5 hours ago, 2.
not
Last night.
today.
I
Okay.
say last
You
night.
know the hours for when fucking
Told us the
George
other
Bush
night.
took a fucking shit in the fucking White House. I need to know. Yes, was it a couple days ago? Yes.
At the restaurant.
Or recently.
All right. So
In
now,
the
are you
restroom at the
using?
restaurant.
You said that you only interact with heterosexual porn. So what would make you come up here and say what you said if you don't have that type of like that's not in you? Pause.
Man,
He just inexperienced.
don't worry about that.
Is he
Don't
going
worry
to his
about that.
place?
He
Okay.
No,
going
what worries?
to
Listen. The people will as fast as they
So
put you on the island, they will throw you off, bro. So you gotta answer the questions, and we don't want to talk about dates, not right now. No dates.
okay,
No date.
Anything with a date, an
yeah.
age, or a freaking coordinate, we don't give a fuck. We just want to know the answers to this question. Simple shit. All right? Please, bro.
Come on,
What?
All
Justice.
right. So, do you really like that shit or not? Do you care for that type of world? Do you care for that? Be honest.
Yes, yes. There
All
are
right.
some
So
really
That's all
attractive
you
what?
gotta say.
transgender women out there.
Oh.
Oh, you're
Whoa.
attracted to them. Oh.
Yeah. So now we got into the fucking truth finally. That only took fucking
Okay.
6 lives. Great.
And Justice, what is that? I'm just trying to get a clear explanation.
Yeah, he was afraid to say that shit in front of his pop. That's a fact. His father would have kicked him in his throat.
Yeah, there are some really
So
attractive women like that out there.
yeah. So my question is, what made you attractive to that? Like, how do you start? 'Cause I don't understand because the T have the same body parts as you, but they have the same body parts as women. So why not just look at women? You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't
What is it
understand
that
it.
the man does differently
Yeah,
or better?
exactly. Or the one, yeah. Like,
Are y'all really
Or
asking
have
him
you
that
even
question?
experienced?
Are y'all really
Huh?
asking that question?
I'm just, I don't know.
Right.
So
He's honest.
it's confused.
It's a
It isn't.
whole nother world. He knows it.
It is, huh?
It is
Yes.
what it is.
It ain't
It
our
isn't.
world.
Everything is fine.
It's not that complicated, really. Honestly, there's they're just attractive, and there's one actually.
All right, you get off at it. You get off at it. We got it.
That's what you enjoy. That's all right.
Exactly,
That's your,
Jenny.
yo, that's your
Yeah.
thing. Do
He
your
went outside
thing.
to give the answer.
So,
All right.
Everything's all right.
there's
Different strokes.
one that I'm really interested in, kind of been obsessing over lately.
Wow.
No, obsessing is not good. Obsessing is
That's
not the word you want to use.
Don't obsess.
You know that?
I mean,
Obsessing, never use that word about talking about somebody you just getting to know.
Yeah.
Very, very odd. Okay?
Because when you assess, you a serial killer.
So now, are you interested in someone?
Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. I have no way of contacting them and contacting this person, even if I did. I actually just learned that he or she has a wife and kids. I looked at one YouTube video last night.
Wow.
Damn,
that's annoying.
detail.
All right.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
You don't like women, so that just fucked up the whole mix for you. I know. I know.
Not really.
That's a hell of a detail.
I know. That's why camera has flipped. Yes. And become
Not really.
now alike.
Can't overlook that. He said one minor detail.
He does not enjoy the vote.
It's all right, I guess.
What
it
is
doesn't
it
really
about
matter.
women that turns you off, Justus?
Yeah. Why not?
He doesn't like black
what is it
women.
about women that just doesn't appeal to you?
Hate their personalities. I and other men do know.
Like, is that across the board, or have you bumped into a couple of decent ones?
Yeah, for the most part, it's most women that are like this. Like, I don't even really want to interact with them unless unless I'm on the internet or something like that. That's different.
He just doesn't want to really be intimate with us and stuff. You know.
But I don't understand. Like, you want to touch a tea with boobies, but you don't like women, and they have natural boobies. I don't.
Yeah, he
get it.
He likes the trimmings, but he wants more trimmings. You know, we don't just make two sides at Thanksgiving. I guess Justus said he needs 6, 7. He wants it all.
He wants the sickles on the tree.
Right.
Yes.
So,
are you looking to light up someone's life, Justus? Is that why you keep showing us this bright light, sir?
Yeah, I
what
guess.
Are you doing?
So, yeah, I just am happy as can be right now.
Okay.
I am blissful or supremely happy with my life as it is right now. I don't really seek to change anything.
Do you have any money in the bank, Justus?
I mean, I'm not happy about everything, but...
Okay, I'm going to ask you again, sir, and I need you to just respond. Do you have any money in the bank?
No.
And you're completely happy?
Yeah. Yeah, but not everything.
Okay,
I'm not saying everything's... I'm not saying everything's...
I need all you money savers to pay the fucking attention. This man has $0 in the bank, and he told us he is as happy as he can be.
Right.
So
who pays your
Justus? Yeah, that's a better question. You heard what she said. Who pays for
Who pays your suburb?
I don't
want to know.
Are you having a malfunction?
What? Who pays my what?
Who pays your bills?
I
don't have bills.
You are a bill. You're a grown man. You're a walking bill. Who gets your haircut? Who fucking gets your clothes cleaned? How do you get your freaking toothpaste? Your freaking dental care? Like,
you eat every day, right?
Who's paying for that?
Guess.
Jess? Oh, you forgot that those are all responsibilities, Jess?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I get sick
right now. place for your clothes.
Must be freaking nice. Nice doorways. Yes,
Oh.
the doorway to
Oh
freedom.
yeah.
Are you taking us to the bathroom again, Just? Are we doing this again?
No,
Are
You
we in
just
the
have to walk
Are
around
we
with
in the
you, Judge.
bathroom, sir?
trying to find better lighting. That's all.
Yeah, I
But
understand.
Are
anyways,
I
you
know.
are you looking for something here? I already told you what you're looking for is not here, sir.
right.
Yeah. Just that
So you
out
can just
here.
calm down at this point. Like, it's not here. You're not gonna find it.
Yeah,
I'm
I get
sorry.
that. Anyways,
But we wish
so,
you best of luck, though.
so I guess that's it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Jenny, do you have any questions? Wait. I'm up here
Good.
for a reason. Jenny, before I let him go, do you have a question for Justice?
I'm good.
No, not you, love. Justice. I mean,
Yes.
Jenny, do you have a question for Justice? Please, if you do, fire it away. Otherwise, he's gonna disappear like last year.
I'm surprised, Swazee, he hasn't been as candid, Justin.
No, he's
Justice.
candid. He's candid. He told us
Yeah, no,
everything.
right, but he's just not being very talkative. Maybe because it's morning.
No, this is
But
not what he doesn't do personal. He will tell you one or two things about it, but he's not gonna delve. He doesn't do that. He'll delve
it
into
depends.
Clinton, into Al Gore, into all that weird stuff.
Oh,
We can get the deep
he'll get
we
down
can
with
get
it.
to the depths of that, right? He'll get so down and you're like, wow. But listen, let me show you something for all my brothers and sisters. Why I'm a little perturbed with Justice. Watch and learn. So Justice, have you gotten yourself a black pack yet?
A what? A backpack?
Black fact. Remember last time we spoke,
Black cat.
Oh.
I
All
asked your ass, I said, you got all of this information about white people, which is cool. I need you to come back and tell me about a brother. At least 40 years historically. You thought I forgot?
Yeah, that's your home.
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, I don't forget, bro. So who is he? Where is he from? How old is he? Let's rock.
Well, all I can really say about that is I know Kanye West and
I
No.
told your ass
Martin.
Kanye. Wait, I told your ass the last time Kanye West don't slide. Kanye West, I
And
will consider somebody to be historic in the future, but currently he's a modern, contemporary artist. We're not dealing with that.
right. Him and Martin Luther King Jr. were born in Atlanta or a city in Georgia. But I know that.
Bro, go do your history. Go ahead. Go
Bro,
ahead.
I'm gonna ask you again. The last time you were here, I asked you for one. I said, bro, all I'm asking is the same way you have 4,000 of these other random ass white men's whole entire life story memorized. I would just like for you to go and find one black man, just one black woman too. I didn't even gender specify. Let's not even act like I did that. Just one black
Right.
historical figure and find out something. And only thing you can
Yeah.
tell me is Martin Luther King and Kanye are born in the same city.
Wow.
Yes.
City and state. Yeah, that's about all
Okay.
all
So
I know right
now do you
now.
guys understand why I'm frustrated with Justice? He has
Oh,
abandoned us.
He knows
So I'm
everything.
ready
He
to
has
abandon him. Yes.
a dictionary type brain and very
Have you
honest.
abandoned black people? Do you not believe in the white man's cause over our own? Be honest.
Be
I
honest.
don't know. What are you asking? I don't know what you're asking.
Do you believe that you
oh
are
my.
here to serve the white man's purpose? Yes or no?
Do Black Lives
Yeah,
Matter?
Listen to
I
what he said.
think
Don't interrupt. He just said yes. He
He
is
gonna
here
be
to serve
honest.
the white man's purpose. Yes or no?
I think there's a lot of good stuff that they've done as a people and as a race. I mean, they've done.
That's black people.
No, let him go. No, let him
They've
talk, sir.
they've contributed a
Immensely.
lot
Yeah, immensely. To everything.
to
Without them, there
to
be
the
no you, no me. Now continue.
they contributed a lot to the advancement of humanity or humankind,
Uh-huh.
and now they're close to becoming extinct.
Oh no.
What?
Oh no, let him go. Oh no, continue.
What, black
Continue
people?
about your endangered species. Continue.
Oh,
And
out of
they're becoming minorities in their
Oh
own
no,
countries.
Black people?
save the whites.
Like like
Okay.
like like America
Why are you
and
laughing?
Europe.
Why are you laughing at your own cause, bro? I'm talking
Uh,
about save the whites. You should have put your hand up.
right.
Oh, you're bad.
Well,
Okay.
you're black, though, sir. You know you're black.
like you know
That's just telling. That's
Is
just
that
to you. Last Sunday.
So,
there's
Judge,
your great grand your
there's
Judge,
really
what you
your
gotta say,
ancestors.
Judge?
He looks just
I
like
couldn't really
people
hear what
around
she
the
was
corner
saying.
here in New Orleans.
I couldn't really hear what she was saying.
Yeah.
I couldn't really hear what she was saying.
Black Lives Matter. That's the whole point. The whole
No,
point.
she
Do you
said, do you know
stand
that
by
you might be black? Do you know that?
So
Did you check into it?
yeah, I know.
the
So
black?
Yeah, I know.
yeah, I'm trying to help everyone by helping them right now. And there's a lot of immorality and stupidity amongst uh, white people, and there's rampant and widespread immorality in America, this country.
Mm. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can admit that they have run amok.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Now, do you think
Yeah.
that you can? Do you think that the issues that people of color face in America might be equally important or less?
Yeah. It's important. I mean,
Just not your fight.
but
Just not your fight, right? That's not your fight. No. I'm just
yeah,
saying.
I don't know.
Well, why are
Yeah.
you laughing? Why is it that I'm not joking? I know how to joke, but every time
Yeah.
I ask a question, you laugh. Like, are you lying? Are you really versed in Black
He's
history,
being restrained. He's holding
or
back.
are you just like, I can't believe that this guy don't know? Like, I could give a shit about us.
He knows all of this.
Oh.
I've heard you on YouTube
Well,
espousing
they're
it.
they're.
Yeah.
I don't have a YouTube channel. I
No,
downloaded.
but you were on that
No.
show.
Please do not create a YouTube channel. Please do not do that.
Don't.
Please.
Yeah.
You were on the panel.
Don't waste
So
the server space. Not interested.
anyways,
Oh my
um,
sir. He
Should
asked
be you.
All right.
questions.
So this is what we're gonna do at this point. I'm gonna tell you again. The only way you are allowed back up here is now that you drop the ball and then come up here with
Right.
one historical Black figure that's 40 years in the past. You now owe me 3 in order to get back on this live and talk to me. You understand? 3. Oh, you can put your
okay.
glasses on and you can turn into freaking Braxton from fucking Jamie Foxx all you want, but
Black.
I don't
I
give a
like
fuck.
Black
You're
too.
done. Thank you for coming. God bless you and good freaking
Right.
night. Damn.
Yo, what was
This
that?
is what
Like,
y'all wanted. I'm
oh
chilling
my
He
here.
got
Y'all wanted me to
afraid.
go through all of
Yeah.
that shit first thing in the morning.
Uh, He wanted to hear. The people wanted to hear.
yo.
And he's normally very frank. And nobody's
He
jacked
likes
again.
Frank. That's the
He
problem.
loves to
Yeah.
slam people. He will slam. He
Oh
said
no,
he
he
doesn't
ain't
want
coming up
to
here and slamming
He
me. You ain't worried about
ain't
that shit.
He just like on any other platform. He was just being shy, I guess. First time.
okay,
It's
so
amazing.
so last night I was talking to my cousin, right? And so we was talking about who should get the play first, the man or the kids. And I said the man should get his plate first. What do y'all think about that?
In most instances, usually the man, but usually the man's not home when that first plate is available. If he's doing what he's supposed to be doing as a man.
Mm,
I know
interesting.
I've been married twice. And
Right.
first husband I had 2 children, two, I didn't like to say step, but they, were, we made sure the children ate first. I mean, we just made sure that we fixed it, just put it out there and then we sat down whenever. But it was,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a preference, But I just think the children are the least vulnerable, the least vulnerable in the home or whatever, should be fed first.
See,
But,
the man
I'll
should
serve
be.
my man, but.
Yeah, but I think the man should be served first. Because she said same thing you said. I said, well, if he's out, he's providing, he's making sure that the kids can eat. So
The
why not?
live endorsed him, man. That's who endorsed him. The
You
live
know,
wanted to
why
see it.
can't he get his plate fixed first and then the kids? He get the first piece. That's that's
Well, the
why
man get the big piece of chicken. That's the more important question.
that's what I'm saying.
That's the
Like
more
he should
important
get the
question.
biggest
Who gets
piece.
the largest piece of chicken? You gonna give it to the kids or the man? Huh,
Now,
Bell?
I can see it like this. You want to knock it out and get your husband fed. He's hungry. He's worked all day. Your boyfriend, your man, whatever. I just tell, hey, baby, fix your plate. Boom. And then the kids might be running around or doing whatever, and I'll be like, let me get them squared away. And let him start eating, so he can relax and chill,
But
And the
it's
kids are
different.
still running around because they had snacks or something.
No, Jenny, but it's one meal. She mean like it's one meal. We talking one meal being prepared.
Yeah.
It's the only way,
You understand?
Oh, what? Oh, only
one meal being
meal.
prepared for the family, and who you going to choose to serve first, right?
Right.
But then I'm saying, what
One
if it's
meal.
whatever, some chicken, some chicken cooked, right? Who get the largest piece of chicken? No,
One plate.
like a meal for everyone, like for a family meal. Belle, sometimes you just want to be so. You know what?
Literal.
You know what? You think I don't know? I know your games.
No, I'm not. I was just seriously asking.
Yeah, you took me on your little trip. I went on your trip. I went.
No,
But I dropped my
did
luggage off,
not.
and I'm not paying for it. Put my shit on the plane. That's grimy, Belle.
Oh, Lord. No, I was trying to get an understanding, Swaz. I was just trying to get an understanding. You said just one plate or the one meal?
No, one meal, like a meal for your family. A family meal. Okay?
Each one getting a plate.
I did it both ways. I brought it to the front, and I brought it to the back. Just for you.
Each one getting a plate. I just want to make sure.
Now, who gets the largest steak? Who gets the largest steak? The largest piece of chicken? Whatever you need to visualize.
My man or my husband.
Okay.
My man will get that.
That's what
understood.
I thought whoever made the most money.
Yeah, I would think so.
Oh Lord, who's up here? Who's that?
That's Jason. You know Jason.
I feel like
even did you wow. I mean, come on, it's the sun.
Jason. Can't see these glasses on.
That hurt.
Are you in Germany?
I'm still here in Germany, yes. Damn.
No, I was never
Okay.
relief.
Okay.
Some women are really against it. Like, nah, my kids come first. Our kids come first. I'm like, I get it.
And that's why they get cheated on. Next.
Yeah.
Right.
Does she say my kids? Does she say my kids or our kids? That's the difference.
Okay. Some of them be saying mine, and some of them be saying our. But the point
that's
is,
the hierarchy where men should be getting them first.
Bring money home. Bring that
Have
food
me
home.
looking at my child's plate with envy. I wish you would, lady. I wish you fucking would. I wish you would put me in that position. I wish you would. Don't ever put me in that position where I gotta look over at my son and feel like you got something I want. Like, how dare y'all?
Listen, I've been to a
father or the kids.
I've been to a cookout last week where a wife did not fix her husband's plate, but she fixed the kid's plate.
Yeah, that's normal. At outings, you do that. At outings, that's to be done. At outings and holidays, kids eat first. Kids eat first. Because as a man...
You want the kids taken care of and done.
Yeah, because as men, we understand that if anything was to be... Like, everything was to be taken away, we could go without with the least fuss. Men know this. You understand? So, but in normal situations, we provide for ourselves to ensure that we don't gotta be concerned about not having nothing to eat when we get in the house. So, you understand, it's different than being at a barbecue and ain't no more hot dogs left. Pause.
Right.
But I want to ask the ladies though, not the father, but let's say the boyfriend. Who gets the plate first? Your children or the boyfriend that's in the house?
I mean, if he's doing what his responsibility, doing what he's supposed to do, and if we rock him like that on a great level, then he do it.
And he should understand that.
Do you think the majority of women will?
Do
you think the majority of women will have the boyfriend get their plate first, or their own kids get the plate
first? Honestly, some women do the kids first.
Majority. What do you think?
It just depends.
We're just speaking about the majority. Do you think the majority of women, if it's a boyfriend, would want the boyfriend to get would they serve the boyfriend before their own children?
Honestly, they serve their own children.
It might make daddy wait.
Yeah, they would serve, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think most women would serve their own children over the boyfriend, and even serve their own children over the father, which is kind of what I think Swaz was talking about, which is an issue. Because the man is out providing and working for that food.
Exactly.
Logically, he should be getting the plate first, but I think in society now, it's just like, get the kids taken care of, and the kids have a hierarchy over the house that they shouldn't have, and that's why they get the plate first.
Amen. Talk your shit, Jay. Easy call.
Yeah.
Easy call.
But at the same time, that's what I said. I was telling my husband, at the same time, that man providing, if that man making sure you're good, yeah, you should be able to have that plate up.
I'm saying, why I can't get an appetizer? Why I gotta come home just to a plate? Why I can't get some sort of, you know what, babe? I made a little anti-pop salad.
They didn't say spinach dip, Swaz?
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not only got to be about the plate. I can just walk in the house and the plate don't got to be ready. Sometimes you can just, I made some breadsticks, man. I got breadsticks, man.
Right.
What, the Parmesan cheese joints? Yeah, man.
Good.
So, you understand, lady?
Saying, yes.
And that's how you can put your man
I
at
get
ease.
it.
If the plate's not ready, we'll be at ease. We'll take the appetizer and chill out for a minute.
Right.
In a bed.
Take the cheese stick and all that.
But that's not the only thing you're gonna feed me.
Now you don't get. Now we know we don't get no cheese sticks when there's kids at the table. We already know, you little badass. Cheese sticks are all. Cheese sticks on the table for 3 seconds.
And you losing cheese out about 4 out of 10.
You might lose a finger. I don't fight with kids with the cheese sticks.
No, I'm talking about when the cheese comes. You know how when you fry them shit too long, or you put it in the oven, you lose half the cheese. You losing some sticks, bro. You taking some stick loss. Pause.
Yo, I'll get cheese sticks with a puddle of cheese. Where I gotta get like a motherfucker.
You dipping that shit in it.
Those
is dad's pieces.
It'll be the cheese sticks like fried, but there'll be no cheese in it, and the cheese will be melted like in a puddle. And you pick it up, and it'll be like it's so sad. Yeah. You pick it up, you'll see the cheese stick, and it'll be a whole with the cheese on the side of it, just hanging.
You ever have those type of kids around when you hand them something that's not together properly, like imagine like the hot dog bun splits, like them kids, like.
I saw a kid one time who would eat the hot dog and the bun separately, and I just looked at the mother like,
"What?"
I'm not bullshitting. This kid, he got the plate with the chips and the hot dog. He took the hot dog out the bun, and then had the bread in one hand and the hot dog in the other hand. And he was and dip it in the ketchup, and I'm just like, and I'm looking at the mother like it was like a family secret. Like nobody talked about it. I was like, is he okay? And she's like, yeah, he just likes to eat differently. Like, okay.
Wait, I love the way women explain shit. Oh, no big deal. No one's gonna notice that when he's 20.
He's just finding himself, It's kind of funny.
Yo, we got
cutting out, mama.
Oh, now I said we got 3 months to Thanksgiving. Ooh, I can't wait.
Oh, what I plan for Thanksgiving?
Oh, Thanksgiving, the kids, get them kids a little, so they can leave the adults alone, and we can. That's what I've always done. Like, get the kids to eat, and then the adults can drink and chill. So we've always done Thanksgiving where we serve the kids first.
Get them out first.
Yeah, and y'all go take y'all asses outside.
All right, so
say the prayer and go.
Children.
I gotta get where's Labanita? Where's Labanita love?
Hey Labanita, sorry, man.
I thought she was in here. I just went to
I think she is. Hold on, wait. Yeah, she is.
I think she is.
I think she just wanted to cuss out your the glasses guy.
No, La Bonita would never. She would have came up here and probably been perturbed with the way I was questioning him. But I knew more than you guys. You understand? And I already knew that y'all didn't really want to deal with that.
I know he was.
But
I
that was
know.
for Jenny.
Yeah,
That was for
you
Jenny.
gotta respect it though. It was kind of like that dumbass like who didn't like study shit and had to come up in class and give a report. So, like, was Kanye West and Martin Luther King were both born in Atlanta, Georgia, same state, and
Right.
he was freestyling. Like,
Yo, but he
Like,
could
but
tell
I
you
think-
freaking
you should
George
have just told him to
Washington's
keep
true
going.
side.
That's what I wanted. I wanted to see how much he could have done. Like, you should have just told him to keep going. Tell me more. Tell me
Yeah,
more.
He
that's
had
why I
nothing.
was.
He had
That's why I
nothing.
was
He had
kind of
nothing,
Swazi because
bro.
I'm like,
No,
Yo,
just let
he
it
had
be.
nothing.
He has
You
nothing. No Swaz.
you like men with breasts, but I mean, what's the difference with females with breasts? I'm just trying to like,
He,
I don't get it.
listen, man. I'm not saying he don't like that, but he knew he had to say something outrageous because he had been ignored for several days. And I like, as soon as I seen it, it was the first thing he said. It wasn't even like he came in and said, "Hey, God." He said one message, and then that was the next one. He landed with that one. I was like, really? And then he went back to go into his dates. So I'm like, I already know he just wants to come up here and talk a whole bunch of dates. I already know this. Like,
Can we ask the ladies the question in the that's pinned? Do you think that twerking is a positive image thing for Black women, or you think it's a negative? And why do we have to have that as our culture?
I think it's a connection because when I went pole dancing exercise, I'm gonna say that I'm not a stripper.
Oh.
When I went pole dancing exercise, and a lot of the strippers in there was like, it's a connection. It's just they enjoy. It's their way of expressing.
You finding yourself?
They dancing.
You find yourself through twerking, really? Okay.
You'd be surprised. That's what the strippers say.
Well, that's private.
When did we start listening to strippers? When did strippers? Okay, I thought that was man shit. I thought men only listen to strippers, not the women.
I'm saying like when I went pole dancing exercise and when they was talking and they was just saying that it was like how they express themselves. It's
So
just
you don't
a
mind
way
your daughter twerking when she gets
they
older?
love twerking. They love dancing. They love basically they love making somebody feel good.
But do you think it's a positive image for Black women or negative?
I
negative.
mean, I would
when
say they made it as a negative image, but I mean, what's the difference between doing Michael Jackson dance and twerking? It's still a type of dance.
Michael Jackson did not. Wait, hold up. Michael Jackson didn't twerk. Hold up now.
Dancing is dancing. You see what I'm saying?
No. There's a difference. There's different types of dancing. I mean, come on. Right? There's inappropriate dancing, is there not?
But at the end of the day, what are you doing? Dancing.
Right. Can you be dancing inappropriately or not?
I don't see it. I don't know.
Remember the movie Soul Food, right? Remember when he got married and his baby mama came and she started dancing? Remember the girl in the green dress and she was twerking all over him during the wedding and he just got married?
Yeah.
Was that inappropriate? I'm just asking a question.
I mean,
food everywhere.
I mean, that's like the Players Club. Look at some people just do it just to make money.
They were at a wedding. He just got married, and his baby mama came and started twerking on him. Is that appropriate?
No, that's completely inappropriate.
His baby mama.
Okay, so the action of twerking is pretty much deemed inappropriate in most circumstances, correct?
Well, at Mardi Gras here in New Orleans, it's okay. And any other day.
Because some situations twerking is not a bad thing.
Right.
Well, y'all fight for twerking in wigs like crazy. I don't know.
What's wrong? Okay, so if you go home.
Not fighting for twerking. I don't know how to do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you go home right now, right? And you coming in the door and your girlfriend or your wife just in a lingerie and she starts twerking, you're gonna be like, hey, this is inappropriate. Wait.
That's for you though. Come
I
on now.
just
You can't use that point.
Right.
Never.
It's a private thing.
But what about? But this is the issue. A song can come on. You can be in public. You can be in a restaurant. You can be anywhere.
Okay.
And in our culture, women will just randomly start twerking like out of
just ass
nowhere.
drop everywhere.
Don't
It's
you
all
think
over
that
the.
might
It's all
be
over
an
the
issue?
grocery store. It's all over the park. It's all over the fucking basketball courts. They walk in the fucking movies. They drop it like it's high in front of the groupies. Anywhere they can, they're gonna drop it. There's some women.
They be low key twerking in church. I be seeing it. They be
no.
Kind of sneaker twerk and shit.
Hey,
they twerk on the walk to the. They twerk on the walk to the club.
Right.
So on the walk to the club, they getting their booty vibrated as much as they can.
They start swinging
for proper maneuverability while the music is on. So they already.
I'm not gonna lie. I have seen twerking in church. When I went to church 2 weeks ago, this girl was a little bit twerking in church. I was
little
like,
bit
wow.
twerking. What's a little bit twerking? What's a little
Well,
bit
I mean, she was.
She didn't bend over, but she was making an ass clap. You know?
There we go. There we go. There we go.
No, she was not in there making that shit. Round of applause.
Yeah.
Right in church.
I've seen some grandmas make the ass clap. Like I've seen some. No.
Well, do you know if it could be clapping because she's banging hard? You know, their arms get heavy when they get a little older. And the whole body.
They got fat arms. So they got to work with their ass. Is that what's happening?
Because everything just be moving. You know, you get to. Yeah, I think it's just movement, man. You ain't never seen no slim joint in there trying to get it moving in there.
Shit.
Yeah.
I done seen women get the Holy Ghost and sneak a twerk in.
Nah.
Yeah, when they be like,
they be like,
yo, I'm about to cancel out there, man. No, they didn't.
I've seen it.
The Holy Ghost don't twerk.
Shit. That's why I know they think they be speaking in tongue. They be speaking in tongue and twerking.
Yo, somebody save me.
Talk about I'm finding myself.
I ain't gonna lie. Yes, twerking has got out of control. So I mean, I guess.
So how do we ring it back? How? Will black women be the ones to say, "Hey, black women, we got to pull this back a bit"? Because I don't think they'll listen to anyone else.
I think so.
The older black women gotta take accountability for letting that shit go crazy.
All women.
And if they don't do it, if they don't come up and step up, like, yeah, we kind of like might have just like didn't really stop you enough or told you enough. Like, yeah, it's a little weird in other cultures. Like when other people look at us, we look so wild.
Church, anytime you could twerk in church is a little bit, you know.
Twerking church is crazy.
No, twerking at kids' parties. You seen a little mascot
and playing wild.
Wait, they be twerking with the little kid too. What about that? They say when they twerk with the little kids. Why y'all be twerking on the little boys?
Why don't the women say anything about this?
Oh,
why y'all be twerking on little boys like that? What y'all think y'all do?
I don't like it. It's not acceptable.
You don't like it, but you're quiet about it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Talk about the parents twerking with their teenage daughters, though. Like, I saw somebody on
some shit like that.
On TikTok, this woman.
Get off of there, girl.
Hey, that happens. I mean, you be seeing women twerking with their babies in the room and shit. Just
with their
babies
dad,
the
bro. With their dad.
No, they be no. Look at what babies be twerking with them. No, it's more with their mamas.
Yeah, but I'm saying he said this dad doing it with the what?
Yeah, why are you bringing that up? Bring up all the mamas twerking with their daughters.
She's trying to shame us, bro.
Right.
She took the most extreme
not a lot of men
story to try and
twerking with
shame
their
all of
daughters.
Yeah, I never even heard no shit. You know what men would do to another man?
It was on TikTok.
You know what another man would do if he was anywhere in the circumference of another man twerking on his daughter?
Yeah.
I mean, allowing his daughter to twerk on him. Do you know what we would do? Like, come on. We police ourselves in that fashion. You got to respect us for that, lady. Ain't no way we letting that shit stop.
He would get the world's longest bruh. Bruh.
I know. Bruh. Right.
Ain't letting that shit stop.
I just never could twerk. But I think people should be allowed to dance how they choose, adults.
Oh, and let's talk about the prom dresses, though. How these last 22 and 21, these teenagers prom dress outfit, the titties out, ass. I'm like, yo, why would you have your 16-year-old with her titties and butt out?
That's our fault. No, that's our fault because I remember when Nelly dropped and all the girls started wearing those lunatic-style prom dresses. We started that dumb shit.
That's when the parents wasn't checking their daughters for walking out the house with that shit.
Right. I mean, I'm 40, and I remember in our prom, girls was wearing motherfucking like crazy shit.
You don't remember when the J-Lo dress came out? That one where it was cut out from the side. Every woman in America wore that fucking dress at least once. The biggest ones, the smallest ones, the thickest ones.
The horror.
It was hideous.
So many women who should have never even put that dress on and tried to wear that dress in public. It was a travesty.
It was. It was terrible.
So, but that's the problem.
Just
that's why I don't blame the modern day, because I'm very cognizant of where we were. Like, I'm not one of those people that's trying to sweep it all under the rug. Like, we was definitely doing a whole bunch of weird shit. We was talking about put it in your mouth and lick it in your ass in 90s.
Right.
Okay, this wasn't no thousands. We're talking about in the 90s.
Right.
One of the most popular songs on the radio was "Put It in Your Motherfucking Mouth," and there's a fact.
Right.
Really? I didn't know about that.
Just put it in your mouth.
Stop the cap.
In your motherfucking mouth.
That song can come on in a wedding and everybody be dancing.
I didn't know that.
You could lick it. You could, don't you? Yeah, all of that. That was on the radio.
Hey, Swazee, now I don't know about that one song. Do you mind if I shook you up?
Yeah, that was radio shit. We played that on the radio. That was radio shit. We had our own freak. We had our own freak, and I don't deny it. But God damn it, y'all taking it too far. Taking it too far.
I'm telling you.
You know, one of my favorite ones was that Lil Kim and Too Short. I remember that one.
Oh, that was
vulgar.
Wasn't it vulgar? I love it.
You want to look? You want them black girls?
Look at Jenny. Look at my girl Jenny. Always honest.
Love song, if you like that.
That was a great song, though.
It was not a making love song. She was going on telling people to suck her dick. That was not a making love song.
Who are you talking about?
Lil' Kim.
No,
Yeah,
Lil' Kim did.
Look,
Kim
wait. That's the only difference that we have.
Do not go on Lil' Kim, because Lil' Kim did have making love couple raps. She did.
No, she had some fuck songs. She didn't have no making love song.
What?
She did.
Name one making love song from Lil' Kim.
Yeah.
That one.
I knew this dude from Rock Q, Push the
Like
Q.
you do that beat 12.
What song?
In the one song, boy, her and Mary J. Blige.
I was about to say that's the only one, and that's Mary's song, girl. That's Mary.
Right.
Well, she was on it and she rapped it, and then the
Dipping
other
on my
one.
Ninja with Tanisha and Rhonda. That's Mary.
Okay, I know that, but she was still in it, so it's still part of her.
That, girl. You ain't about to slide up out of this with that shit. Come on back.
Yeah, but I just can't twerk. I feel, you know what it feels like to me, ladies and gentlemen? It feels like I'm making love or something in the public, and it just doesn't sit well with me.
That's the whole point of the act. It looks like love making in the public.
It's dry humping.
That's what we're
trying to
point out.
That's all it is.
So I can describe it. It's just like.
All right, let me go get my son. All right, Chuck.
All right,
bye, Jason.
Let me get Labanita back. I'll get Labanita.
Always a pleasure.
Hold
on. All right, Chuck.
Uh-oh.
You getting off too, Dad?
Yeah, I gotta get back to work.
All right.
All right, love.
Catch up. Stay out of trouble.
Okay, darling. Yeah, I tell you, you know, Swazee, I just don't like twerking. I can't do it, number one. My body just won't allow me to do it because it seems like such a personal dance, you know?
Yeah, I'm not big on. It's not that I mind it. It's not that I mind it as much. I just know the perception that I've heard them talk about it. Put it like that. Just like I never forget, like if you could ever get them alone in a group and they're really just letting it out about whoever, they get down to it. Cause I had a friend of mine, one of the brightest dudes I ever met, right? And their perception of this brother, and I'm telling you, one of the brightest dudes I've ever met, was he was Fred Sanford's son, Lamont. That was their impression.
Wilson.
Yeah.
The impression.
Okay. Mind you, this brother was, I just told you, one of the brightest brothers I've ever met. That was their impression. I said, yo, these like crazy, man. I overheard that shit. I said, yo, I told him, I said, yo, bro, these niggas think you from Sanford or something, my nigga. They think you from the junkyard.
Rollo.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Is that Rollo?
Yo, what's good with it, Red?
Hey, how y'all doing? Good morning.
Hey, it's Red.
Hey, how y'all doing? Yo, you know, the whole concept, I really don't see anything wrong with the whole twerking thing. I think it's more so the energy that's behind it.
Right.
I agree with Smiling. I think it's very sensual. I think it could be preserved for certain events,
I
like
think,
how Africans throw
At
money at
home,
each other
right?
during weddings, right?
but this is what
But
I'm
we
trying
don't
to
gotta
say.
do that shit every time.
Yo, we don't have to do that
No.
every time, but I think that you have to look at so many different other factors in it. Like, why does everything that is connected towards blacks or anybody of urban, I don't want to say urban descent, but anybody of, black roots or whatever, why does it seem so bad? Everything that's been done now has been done for centuries. It's just that the energy is different. I think the energy behind twerking is different. I don't think it's the actual
Yeah, but it puts
act of
out
it.
wait, it's not that, bro. It puts our women in a sexual position unnecessarily, just trying
Hey,
to
I mean,
enjoy
look, any
themselves.
dance, but see, that's the whole point of dancing, though. The whole point of dancing, it begins with being a seductive thing. You understand what I'm saying? That's where dancing really derived from. You understand what I'm saying? Like the women trying to entice in the kings and all types of things with things like dancing, certain spiritual moves and stuff like that. That
Right.
that caters to the hips and the shape of a woman. You understand what I'm saying? I just think the energy behind it is terrible. If you could take the energy that comes with the twerking and kind of give it something that's supposed to be there that's more spiritual, is more acceptable. And I
Yeah,
think that,
we tried
yeah,
that with
go ahead.
NIGGA, bro. And look, both forms exist still, and they constantly clash and cling and ping because you can't turn a negative positive. It don't work that way. It is what
Right.
it
You
is,
can't make
man.
chicken
If
salad out
if
of
you
chicken.
know if you know that men are gonna visualize something as an enticing
Yeah.
act, we can't deny it doesn't exist because when a man is enticed and he is not properly in control, just like that brother we just had up on the live, and something happens to that young lady, then we
Yeah.
all look at like, yeah, we're gonna blame the guy, but come on now, like you out there, he got enticed and he didn't know how to control himself, and you got
And
hurt.
listen, and I understand that. And what I want to say to the guys that's like that is, you know, at a certain point,
Hey, Mac.
you have to understand. At a certain point,
Boss
for a
lady.
man, at a certain point as a man, you have to understand that sex is not important. I think when you get that concept, like it's not as a big of a deal, like as you think it is. You understand what I'm saying? And once you realize that, you see women doing, I guess, sexual acts such as twerking and things like that. You
To
look
make
at
it
it
even
as
more
like,
tough
oh,
for
she's
you.
just dancing.
I don't know.
She's
Right.
just dancing. Like you don't look at it, you don't take it in the sexual, you don't take it as an invitation for anything when you realize that sex is nothing.
So would you be okay with a young lady that came from your loins, from you, right,
Yes.
exhibiting that
I,
behavior in
listen,
any day life? Because that's basically
listen,
what we're
listen,
saying.
listen. I've always told my daughter, because I know for a fact that I won't be here for a long time. She's 18 now, and I have a 2-year-old daughter. And I tell her, whatever you do, you respect yourself. That's all. That's all I can tell you. You just, no matter what it is, you respect yourself first. So
That's
even
right.
if she is
Right.
doing it out there, make sure you're doing it in a setting where it's time for that. Make sure you're doing it in a way where you're being respected, and that's it. Because in all reality, it's just a movement. It's the mind
Right.
that's making you think of something else. Your mind is telling you it's something else, but it's movement. It's just a movement. Because if you cut the music off, what happens? They stop dancing. You understand what I'm
It's a
saying? I
form of
just think people need to
gyrating,
be
a
more
form of dance,
open-minded with that.
celebration.
Gyrate.
It
Well,
involves
back,
all of that.
back,
Go ahead. I'm
if I
sorry.
could possibly interject. Good
Certainly,
morning,
welcome to the
everyone.
Good
live.
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning.
Salutations.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for joining.
Thank you for having me. My name's Tanya. Good morning, everyone. But I want to say in regards to the question about the negative or positive of twerking for our culture, anything that African Americans do, it is taken over, it is sexualized, it is anything that we do that's positive. Now, how do we know? I don't know where the dance originated, this, that, and the other, but there's been several other
Africa.
dances that we have done that it comes here. The meaning of the dance has obviously been changed, because maybe that's not even what the sexual connotation is, not what's meant in the dance. We don't know, because when we do see our ancestors, see our people in Africa dance, showing their ancestral dancing,
Right.
we don't always know what it means. It's not explained to us. We just see it in our small minds, and the minds that we have, that we were taught by white America, that we put a sexual connotation on it. It may not be that. It could be showing a form of release, of trying to release something out of your body, is what it could be trying to show. But because it has been presented to us in a sexual manner, is now that has become the normalization of that particular movement or dance craze, whatever. Just like if you watch some of the videos that show young African children that are dancing in their native area, their village or whatever, and I've noticed there's a lot of those videos that are on here, and we don't, you see the hips gyrating and everything, like the way Elvis made money off of our dancing and this and that and the other, and it's like, you know what, these are little kids dancing like that, but it can't be sexual. It's just a movement. What type of movement? What story is this movement supposed to be telling? So when the gentleman with the red dot over there was talking about, the dancing and that it's not sexual, as if you make it sexual. So it's all in how it's presented. Would I want, if I had a daughter, for her to be out there twerking in this society? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And my son and I, we have long conversations. He's 26 years old, and he'll go out with that girl, but he ain't finna bring her home.
Yeah.
I'm just keeping it
That's a fact.
100%, because like you said, I was a bully and I was rough raising him. I said, but no, you're not bringing home no garbage. I'm not garbage. I'm not sitting up here looking at garbage. If that's what you want to talk to outside, that's your business. And I apologize if somebody's offended because I said that their child was garbage. Well, then that means you raised garbage and you need to get yourself checked too.
Definitely.
Because we have a lot of resources. There's free education in this country that people don't have everywhere else. There's books, there's television, there's social media. There's no reason why anybody is walking around in today's state and society ignorant. There's no reason. We have too many opportunities to gain enlightenment and wisdom that are free.
Agreed.
And
so
then, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
And then, you think of it like this. If you was to strip away the sexual idea when women dance, would you even see that as dancing? Like, if you saw a woman who was out of rhythm and she's moving her body all weird and everything, you won't look at that, and that doesn't seem in place like how it would seem as a woman who has curves and who's moving and who's gyrating. There's a certain connection that comes with that, and I think that
it's the intent, it's the purpose. It is what you're trying to portray in that opportunity and in that moment.
Exactly. It's what you're it's really what's going on in your head. It's not really what she doing. Yes, it is disrespectful at some
It is
point,
your intent
but it's
in
more
your
so about
purpose.
what you're thinking about.
Yes.
Let me say one thing. Let me say one thing though. I want to just align something. I want to align one thing. So we do realize that when he mentioned the fact, like, if you've seen a young lady dancing out of rhythm, right, it would automatically stop you from seeing the sexuality of it all, right?
Yes.
Because the rhythm is the sexuality of it all, right? We are it. We are the rhythm. So when we're seeing it, right? Yes, it's sensual for us men, right? Especially if you're like up on it. But not like if I see a woman twerk, it doesn't do that. Like even when I was younger, it wasn't that big of a deal to me. It never like, you understand? Like, of course, if she's naked in front of me and do it, like, of course, like, but you know what I mean? If a woman is out there enjoying herself and I'm seeing the rhythm of her, like trying to catch it, like it didn't.
Gyrating
But
and
other
possibly
people,
running
when
into
they
you with her
see
butt.
that, timing, it's like when they hear good music. They want to
Yeah.
keep seeing it.
Yeah.
They want to hear it
Yeah.
over and over and over again, right?
Yeah. And let me tell you something. And you as a man, let's just say you at a
Strong
strip
throat.
club. Let's just say you at a strip club, right? And you throwing money, you making it rain. Just because you throwing money and making it rain don't mean you rich, but the energy that you putting behind and showing everybody is I got it. Now, if we was to take you out that strip club and put you somewhere on a regular Monday, you wouldn't look like that. So what I'm trying to say is whatever you putting out and the energy that's tagged to that, that's what's coming with that. So if you're out there twerking and you're doing it in a fashion where it's inviting, well then most of the times that's the energy you're gonna get. But if you do it with like some type of respect, like this is a real dance, into where people can see that you shouldn't have no other notion. You shouldn't even think sexual. It's just a dance. It's just that's what women do. In all reality, that's what women do. Women have been doing it for a long time. Go back there and look at them old Freaknik tapes, them old Black College Freaknik tapes. Some people mothers and
Yeah,
aunties is in there.
but again, it's the intent.
Yeah, it's
Those
the intent.
girls
Yeah,
from Miami, I know I was down there during that time in Miami or whatever. The intention
Atlanta.
was they was trying to get some. They was dancing with a purpose.
Yes.
They was throwing it back to get picking back, huh?
It's even like I
They was
said.
dancing with a purpose. They wasn't just dancing just to dance. It wasn't you going to a dance recital and we're just trying to see who's going to get the top prize
Yeah.
for dancing. Because
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
they're dancing
They
with
just
the
didn't jump
purpose.
out
The
in the
purpose
parking
is
lot.
sexualized. It's a
Now,
They didn't just jump out
sexualized
in the
purpose.
parking lot
the,
at the
now
movie
I'll tell
theater.
you what.
Because you're also wanting attention.
Or with the
You're
car
saying, "Hey,
moving,
see me."
with the car moving, that's the
I'm
reason.
gonna tell you. Wait.
Mooning
I'm
at
gonna
the
tell
same
you.
time it's
Yeah,
working.
Let me
car
tell
moving.
you. Let me tell you what bothers me more. I'll tell you what bothers me more than twerking when it comes to women dancing. The whole women dancing on each other thing
Yeah, I'm with you.
inside the club, like rubbing up on each other
I'm
and
with you.
dancing
Yeah,
on
that's
each
not.
other. That thing
Because
right there,
again,
that bothers me.
sexualization.
That bothers me more than twerking.
I'm with you.
That's the cult.
I'm with you. Because
Like,
nine
what
out
is
of
that
ten
about?
women, not
Some
and not
bullshit.
you. I'm not gonna say more mature women, but women that I'm coming across, 9 out of 10 are okay with that. They're just
Listen,
they're
me and
just
my
like,
wife, right?
whatever.
Oh, you're
Me and my
defending
wife.
that, right, Swaz?
Listen,
No,
me and my
I'm
wife.
not
Me and
defending
my
it. I
wife.
hear it a lot. I hear a
Listen,
lot of women say they're okay with it.
let me tell you something. Me and my wife, we went out to eat. Me and my wife, we both work. But we make time to go on 3 dates at least a month. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but we have our daughter, we have our work, we have everything, and 3 dates a month is what we do. And we pick different spots. So we go to this spot, and she's dressed up, I'm dressed up. It's a whole bunch of women in there, it's a whole bunch of men in there, but all the women are on each other, yo. I'm talking about
In
me
the
and my
club?
wife was sitting up there eating, drinking, just chilling, and all the songs, women were really like dancing on each other, like butt to hip, just on each other, smacking on each other. What is that about? I'm not really worrying about the twerking. What's up with that? Like, you know what I'm saying?
This
Not
is
to
at
take away
a
from this
club?
conversation, but you
Is
know.
this at a
It's
strip club?
it's the
No,
gateway.
it was
It's the
that
gang. It's the
no.
gateway, bro. You know what that
No,
is.
it wasn't at a strip club. It was like at a restaurant. You know, like one of those restaurants
Oh,
where they
this
have like a little
restaurant.
dance floor to the side. It's not a big dance floor, but it's like a little
Oh, yeah,
corner,
Okay,
yeah.
got you.
little
Just a
nice.
little spot.
Yeah, it's a little
If it
nice
were
joint.
if they did a dance floor or
Yeah.
something like that.
And yo, and listen, it went from everybody two-stepping here and there to women just full on. Yo, I couldn't
Yeah.
even
All
explain
right.
it.
So so every time a woman tries to excuse it, I just need you to picture it happening with two men. Simple. If it's uncomfortable there, it should be uncomfortable for
It's
you.
uncomfortable for them too.
It should be.
Exactly.
I shouldn't need to
Exactly.
tell you I'm uncomfortable. I shouldn't
Wait,
need to
so
prompt you with
somebody
nothing.
said
That should
Shouldn't.
already be
somebody.
within inside of you as women to say, "Wow, I don't see my counterparts doing it. Why do I feel comfortable doing it?" Simple.
Yeah, somebody just said in the comments, women do it sometimes to keep men from dancing. And That does not
That's
work.
why she just got that work, because she had to get that right there. I need you to picture it. I need every time you say, okay, I'm just okay. It's cool, girl. Let me go ahead and rub your ass because you just got out you put on the nicest jeans I ever seen. Let me touch it. Picture your dude with the same action. Okay? Just
Yo.
picture it. And if you're
Your
not
man, your
comfortable with
husband.
seeing your man do it, why we gotta be comfortable? And why should you make us comfortable?
Exactly.
Because now we're comfortable in it. Right? Now we're comfortable in it. And y'all say, oh well, y'all don't have no, y'all don't say nothing. Yo, because y'all made us comfortable with it. Like if you keep doing something in front of somebody, eventually it's like, what am I really gonna say? This is what the norm is. What the fuck I'm gonna say?
And
But I
that's
don't
what's
see nothing
happened is that
wrong
I've watched
with,
that we've become very desensitized. We
yeah.
had a standard. Well, I'm a 70s baby, and I've seen where things have progressed and changed dramatically. There was things that you knew you couldn't do, you wouldn't do, you shouldn't do. But now it's just like no holds
Anything
bars.
goes.
Anything
Oh,
goes.
right, Joe.
Literally, just like the song. Anything goes,
Hey,
and it
man.
comes with a tap dance. But now it ain't a tap dance. They doing twerking and other things that are overly sexualized. That just looking at
It's
it,
not
what
good
you're
for the
doing is
young girls.
no,
You
because what you're
cannot dance
saying is
like that.
that
I didn't
you
teach
don't
them
have
to
to have
dance
a
like that.
brain, you don't have to be articulate, you don't have to be intelligent. Just sling your booty around and shake it and gyrate it and
Yo,
swing your boobs around, and you're gonna get
how
attention.
many
And
women?
then on top of
How
it
It's
many
the
all,
women?
music.
it's
It's the.
oh, and don't be real. Don't be a
Yeah.
real person with real hair and real skin and real
Like what's
teeth.
under here.
No, everything's got to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
No,
Mm-hmm.
It's not.
however we
But
made
I
is
have
way we
filter
was
on.
made. Take it or leave it. Like
Right.
it or love it.
But
Right.
you're
But
not
it,
you're
it
not
all
selfie
ties
ready,
in
ma. You're
together.
not selfie ready. You don't got your duck lips together. You gotta have that
Nothing
front
is
You
door.
wrong
gotta
with
have
coming
the
along
lips and
together
the
in a group.
boobs and the
If you need
butt.
We
help,
all
Oh,
doing the same
nicely.
shit. Like, what are y'all doing?
No
Nicely.
individuality.
Like, what are y'all
We
doing?
all look
No
the same.
individuality. It's like a cookie cutter.
Yep.
and you know what?
At least back when I was growing up, everybody was different.
Different lanes.
There,
Yeah.
Yep. Different
yeah.
lanes.
I want to
Everybody
say
different
this to
Literally.
lanes.
you.
Even the music,
I just
different
want to say
lanes.
this. I want to say this one last thing before I get off. So, you know, a lot of times when we think about from when we were young, I'm 40 now, so we're thinking about when we were young. You have to understand that, and I don't want to say you have to understand because you really don't have to understand, but just try to look at it from this view. The music changes the vibration and the motion of each generation. So think about it like this. Back then, you had hip hop. When it was real hip hop, the beats was different, the drums was different, the sound was different, which brought out a different vibration. Back then, it was B-boys and B-girls because that was the vibration that the music was giving off. A little bit fast forward, you had gangster rap. So now you have gangster men and you had gangster bitches at that time. I want a gangster bitch. I need a gangster nigga. That's the generation, that's the vibration behind that. Fast forward, you have this fast, slow, up tempo, but not up tempo beats, which cater to a certain negative vibration, which that vibration brings out
R.
negative
Kelly-ish
dancing,
stuff. R.
negative
Kelly.
moving, and stuff like that. You understand what I'm
R.
saying? So
Kelly-ish.
you looking all that. And let me tell you
I really
something.
like this.
I said this to my man last week. I said, yo, all these men out here talking about R. Kelly did this and how he was putting drinks in girl stuff and I don't know how he could do that. When I was in
Rufus.
junior high school back then and I was living in the
Easily.
city, it was dudes buying that Spanish fly and putting it in girls' drinks. I remember that back in the day very vividly when I was young. I remember guys going, yo, you got to go get that Spanish fly. And then you buy it from the bodega and you put it in it. I remember those days. It's so people point fingers and don't know when they're doing them things until
Right.
you really think about it. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of stuff that R. Kelly was guilty of, a lot of men committed. They just didn't go the distance that he did. But a
You
lot
got
of
that
men
right.
dated young girls. A lot
They
of
got
men
a lot
dated
of
young
motherfuckers
girls.
walking
A
free
lot of
right
men
now who
picked up
shouldn't be
young
behind
girls from
bars.
school.
I'm just
You
saying, in
know,
terms of rape, I know this for a fact. Just
definitely,
saying.
definitely. So
So
I'm
I'm not
gonna get off so
Yeah,
justifying
we
somebody
at
else can
all.
get
appreciate you
on. But
tapping
thank
in.
you,
We are definitely,
thank you.
Oh, yes, nice to see you.
and
You
we
know what
are
I'm saying? They
officially
got a
up. That
lot
is
of
a
men.
fact. We are up, good
Egregious
people.
shit.
All right, so we're
You
gonna
know?
bring my bro Polly up here. Hold on.
Really? Hello.
Listen, I love my people, yo. But this right here, I'm gonna pin this. This type of shit annoys me.
What?
The entitlement that we walk around with. The entitlement.
Relative to what?
There's literally 4 human beings that probably amassed maybe 100 plus. I'd probably say closer to 200 years of experience and information. And you feel your points are so fucking valid that I should interject them, and I don't even know you? That's weird.
That's right.
What? Because you crafted a nice sentence? Because you crafted a nice sentence, I should stop everyone from speaking, bro? That's what you thought?
Ooh.
That's weird. We need to work on that. Please don't walk in other people's lives and think you got rapport. Again, Polly, this is why people get their freaking face bashed in. Know me first. Get to know me. And then you would understand, like, oh, Swaz in one of those spaces where he letting the lives bribe the lives. This is not a good time. You're not paying me no mind. And for those that know me, I understand if you feel that way. I might have missed you because normally I would have forgotten you. But I'll be back. But that's entitlement. That's weird.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You act like you wrote.
I'll calm down so somebody else could get on if they want to get on. I'll go away.
It's not that. I'm just proving my point. I'm just saying, if you come into somebody else's live and there's a conversation actually occurring, right? It's not like we're dry, right? I can see if it's a dry live because there are fucking tons of them. No disrespect to all of you, but there are tons of them, and they're all dry, right? So you're sitting in these dry ass lives. You come in there, you want to say something and try and get it energized. I get it, but this one had its energy. Thank you. Adapt or believe. What's wrong with people? And then drop this in my comment section and got me really considering the fact that you thought that you wrote some words that you were owed something. What?
Who?
Who said that?
It's pinned.
He pinned it.
Who?
I saw it, but I just didn't say nothing.
Bullshit. This is some shit I would expect from a female. You a victim, bro? I made you a victim because I didn't read your comment.
Why did
That's the mindset of people. That's a bad mindset. It's like, yo, bro, you got overlooked. It wasn't because people overlooked you. It's because you didn't stop to listen. Pay attention.
And why does that even need to be said? Why don't you just leave the lie?
That's my point. It's entitlement. That's what I'm saying. There's an entitlement to our people that we need to check. That's an entitlement. Like, bro, it's like, what do you think? You think we're supposed to stop everybody for you? We don't even know you.
Damn. Niggas.
That's rude. That's the rude things that I'm talking. Like, yo, if you're gonna come on somebody's live and try and have some sort of conversation, then you should just come with some sort of, yo, let me see if I can build a rapport with the host. Let me see if somebody on the live I know can get me up there. Like, you understand? There's so many different ways, but you coming in here and just feeling like I'm entitled because I made some. You know how many freaking hundreds of people have been in here all day? You kidding me? Who are you? That's weird. Because that makes me feel like all of y'all come here and think that way, and I hope not.
Well, I've seen you before on here, and I've seen my Bell as well in other rooms, and I just like the conversation and the topics and the way you guys express yourselves, because I can't just sit and talk and listen to just everything. It starts to unnerve me.
I have to tell it like it is. You know.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't. Yeah, I got to have real conversation, intelligent conversation, you know, experienced conversation. Let me put it that way.
QV, I am not talking to you. I'm not talking to you.
Like, energize my
I'm not even talking. Probably the brother
make love to my
room.
brain.
I'm talking to the
my
scenario.
is connected to it.
Oh my gosh, that is so. Thank you. Were you in? I think I was in a live a few days ago with I call her Miss Crystal, and Crystal. I think her hand is Crystal. When that were you on there when that dude told me that I need to just settle and just take whatever I get, that my standards was too high?
Oh, sound like she ran into Zeus.
Fucking right.
Did she run into Zeus?
Yeah, and you're like,
did she get Zeus?
A little tall. What's your height?
I was so baffled. I thought that, okay, I should be entitled to my own. First of all, I should be entitled to my own opinion, number one. Number two, I should be entitled to what it is that I want. a man is entitled
Uh-oh.
to what they want, and they will pick and choose what they want.
Yes.
Someone's
So
been
why
asked.
must I continue to settle and continue to say I should be grateful with whatever I get? I should be ever so humbly grateful. No, I should think that now
Oh,
at
not
49
fire.
going on
Not fire
50,
before
I should,
rapport.
yes,
Not fire
because that's
before
what
rapport.
I was coming with that fire. But you know what? Something
Ads
inside of
on
me
fire.
said, just take it easy. Don't even let this boy get under your skin, because he don't know you. He don't know what you've been through.
One build rapport and he's on fire?
I said, but this is her desire. You asked her the question.
No,
was
there's a
asked of
person that
you.
I'm talking to. I have conversations with people and I talk to them and I don't say their name, but they know I'm talking to them. You understand?
What's that? I don't know.
It's fine. But we shall proceed because I
Everything's
already know
fine.
where we're going. Are you buckled up, my dear? Are you good? You buckled up over there? Hold on, let me check your thing. Okay, smiling. Are you buckled up over there?
Yeah, I'm good.
You
I'm buckled up. I'm
Seatbelt
sitting in
on?
my chair.
All right. Polly, you ready to work? I already know. I feel the vibe.
I'm in my swinging chair. I'm
Hey,
good.
yeah, swinging chair. Can't nothing hurt her. Go ahead.
I'm gonna have to cam down and switch my phone real quick. I'm coming right back.
Oh man, a reprieve.
Uh-oh, he's coming with the fire.
A reprieve is a godsend.
The fire is coming. I didn't mean to change the subject. I'm sorry. We'll go back to the twerking.
We just want to say hi to somebody real quick. She ain't gonna stay up too long. She's gonna come and tell me what I need to do. Check me probably real quick and keep it moving while he situates his phone. But
his phone.
Yeah.
There's nothing left anywhere.
I get a little nervous when the fire comes on.
To situate.
I don't know. Do you even get a chance to say hello to that guy by any chance? Okay, I didn't think so.
No, I didn't.
I didn't think so.
I was waiting on you, Swazee, to introduce,
Okay, say less, say less. I heard you, say less. So I was waiting on you. I was waiting for him to say something, hello, anything, but then I just seen heat, flames.
Ass on fire.
Some would call him the devil. Even himself.
No, I was just saying Man on Fire, the movie.
Even himself.
Everything's good.
Look,
86 inches of booty.
Look, every time black people hear the devil, we gotta be quiet for 3 to 5 seconds and make sure he ain't really listening.
Oh yeah, 86 inches. I know her. Yeah.
86 has a large butt.
Who said devil?
A giant butt. Who's oversized dick?
Hold on, that's him. I got him. I'm getting you back, Polly. Hold on, let me just say what up to 86
right
quick.
Oh, that's Polly. I'm sorry.
Let me just say what up to 86.
Hey, 86. How you doing, girl?
Let me get
Long time no see.
I'm trying to get his spirit back, Polly.
I am in the presence of two wonderful women.
Amen.
Wow.
What's up, girl?
Wow. I just was I just was coming on because I came in at the tail end of her statement when she was saying someone was basically trying to tell her that she needed to lower her standards because I guess of our age, or our life experiences of whatever. But how can you basically tell someone else what their level or their limits are? How can you limit? So in other words, you tell me that you limit what you can with what you can obtain. Now, if you want to limit what you can attain, then speak for yourself. But you cannot put a cap on what somebody else's ability is, what somebody else's goal is, what somebody else's ambition is. The nerve of you. Once again,
and she was asked what did she desire. It was just her desire, her wish.
I don't
ideally,
get
I
it.
like,
And the thing about it is, it's for the men who think they have the right to do that. It's the mindset of the men who think that they can dictate what women's limitations are. And to me, I'm thinking you are such of a low vibration of a man.
To tell her to relegate.
to want, and then it's like you only doing this to the black women to limit the black women because of what we have experienced, of what we have went through, or what our ages are, or what our sizes are. Just to say that you want to limit us. Why are black men so terrified of a woman once she finds her voice? As long as we don't have our voice, we good. As long as we submit and be, can't think for ourselves, we're good. As long as we don't speak up, we're good. But once you find a woman who knows who she is, who knows her voice, because I do believe all three of us women in this group know our place as a woman. We know that we are
as a woman and a lady
to a man.
Yes.
We know what we are supposed to do. But the fact that we can articulate and we're not going to take nothing less than what we desire in a
We can't hear you, 86. There you go,
Yeah.
baby. There you go.
You got me. Let me get
There
her.
you go. There you go.
So
Done made her sit up.
So the fact that we can articulate and we're not going to take anything less than, there is a problem, because we're trying to tell you to elevate and you don't want to. So therefore you have a problem with the women who speaks up and say, I identify you. I can identify you as a man, but you're just not that man that I'm supposed to submit to. Find you a woman who haven't found her voice yet, who you can dominate, who you can basically belittle, who you can basically feed that bullshit to.
Bamboozle. You could just, do all kinds of things.
Did you say bamboozle? Yes, ma'am. That's the word. Bamboozle. You get hoodwinked. Hoodwinked.
Sorry,
why I got thrown out the
I'm going to ride my motorcycle. I'll be right back.
Why I got thrown out the lot? This is why I need my picture up at some point in time. I got thrown out the lot, bro. I got thrown out the goddamn lot. Yo, phone out fish. He said,
you ain't throwing out. You
and we
still,
taking y'all there.
No. Thank you for letting us in your house. We appreciate that. Honestly, we do. I'm grateful.
I brought 86.
And let me tell you, it is such a pleasure to have this forum. When I was growing up in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, and I was like, God, it would be so nice if my people, we could have our own little spot to talk to each other and to express ourselves to each other.
Amen.
And it's not full of drama and crazy. And don't get me wrong, some of these folks up on here just be straight tripping, and that's when you got to know how to hit that little white X button and X on out the room, because it ain't for you.
Good morning, everybody who's coming in the room. Good morning, everyone who's coming in the room.
Everybody.
But it's
a blessing to have this. It really is.
It is.
It's awesome.
It's nothing wrong with difference of opinions. I don't have a problem.
And we can respect each other.
I don't have
we
a
really
problem.
can.
Bonita, I don't have a problem with those men who think like that. It's just the fact
that
you just, the belittlement of that just comes out your mouth when you try to say that you are uplifter of women. You are a supporter of women. No, you are a supporter of those who haven't found their voice yet, those who don't speak up against you. But when every time I hear you speak women, it's always bitch. Why you always got
the derogatory name calling is unnecessary.
The bitch. Really?
But you know what? And that again, Miss 86, just because of the culture, though, what Miss Mybelle and the young man Swati was saying, and there was the kid that had the red square that just left off. He was 40 with the wife. And it's the culture. It is the culture. It is what has been perpetrated within the last 10 years.
That's an excuse. Just because.
No.
Just because
but you got to understand.
Just because society allows it does not mean you have to follow suit.
But then that comes back to the home, Miss 86. It comes back to the home and the foundation. We don't have it like we used to have when we was younger. It was a different day and time. Now you've got these younger women that are parents and grandparents that don't have that level of community within them because it wasn't taught to them, because they didn't get a chance to learn it.
They weren't exposed.
So
you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly, that no exposure. Thank you, ma'am. That's exactly the word I was looking for, exposure. They never had the opportunity to be exposed to that type of behavior, the type of lifestyle. But now that you have that, right, and that's what we need to bring back.
Right.
Right, and with these forms, it should bring that exposure.
People really need to go back to basically being able to think for yourself.
But if you're not taught it, you have to be taught that.
Wow.
Unfortunately, and I'm being so honest, for real, Miss 86, these folks have to be taught how to think that way, because the train is off the tracks.
And you know why it's off the tracks? Because it's from the need of being accepted, not knowing that you don't by people as long as you accept yourself, because nobody
but we're not taught to accept ourselves. We're taught to hate ourselves.
Yeah, nobody is always going to like everybody. When I see a person and you are always catering to be liked by everybody, that means you don't like yourself, because you're not being true to yourself. Because everybody is not going to like everybody, and that's what that's life. Everybody's not going to like me. Everybody's not going to like my Belle. Everybody's not going to like Swazee. Everybody's not.
Of course.
It's no way in the world everybody is actually. Beyonce. Everybody don't like Beyonce. Okay? Everybody don't like Jay-Z. There's no way in the world for you to conform yourself for everybody to like you. It's no way in the world. That means you're not being true. You're not being true to yourself, first of all.
Thine own self.
You're not being true to yourself. So as long as you're being true, but first of all, you must first come to terms with who you are. You must first love yourself in order to be true to yourself.
Of whatever it is you might be going through.
Do you see that? Do you see that pin 86?
And you step.
Do you see the pin?
Do your best to keep going.
How do you ladies feel about that?
Okay, let me.
I'm not for men calling me, for when they say the B word. I'm not for men calling me that, but I definitely use the word as a term of endearment with my friends.
And wait. And what about the way she made sure to say it was an endearing term? I want to know how that apply. How does that feel? Oh yeah, 86. She's in Swazland. She's about to get this work. Yes. So now I would like to know, ladies, how you feel about her saying endearing in the same word that would put her in the sense of mind where she would want to break someone's car, face, maybe even get a brother to beat his ass, right? She can feel that it's endearing when she's giving it to a girl she should be giving her all to, a woman that she should be propelling, right? How does one tell me that the word bitch, yes? How does it not attach to the psyche in some form of fashion when it's being said? Explain that to me, young lady. How do you think you could say the word bitch and it doesn't go to the subconscious in some form of fashion, and whatever that subconscious feels about the word bitch, it's triggered every time you hear it? What makes you think it doesn't happen?
Once again, it's from the trickery that society has basically fed it to us. That now, once women say it again to women, it's okay, but it's never. That's just like the word, how we get mad when someone calls us nigga. Yep. But yet still we turn around and call each other nigga.
I feel the same way.
So yes, it's the same trickery that society, which we allowed it, the black people, we allowed it to be fed to us and us to be tricked by it. So we as women, we have accepted it. As long as it's coming from a woman, as long as it's said this way, it's okay. But no, it should never be okay. Like if you was to go to Africa, you cannot say nigga or anything demeaning about another black person in Africa. But here in the States,
Nelson Mandela did not say
yes,
that.
here in the States, we have been bamboozled. We have been bamboozled to think that it's okay.
Yeah, but see, and I'm okay with Polly saying it's reality, but I'm also okay with shattering people's reality, because that should not be your reality.
Street reality.
You understand?
And it's not, because once again, that
your reality.
Just because somebody else gives you reality, that means you have accepted it.
Yeah, just because you see an example don't mean you need to share or partake in it.
Yeah.
Simple.
No.
Simple.
No.
We got too many people.
I'm gonna go down. Get oversized. Oversized wants to come back in.
I got him.
I'm gonna go out so he can come in. But it was really nice talking to you guys, and I'm gonna keep watching.
You too. Did you go on your vacation yet?
Girl, I went to the one up there in Kentucky. Yeah, that one we'd have to talk offline about that one. But I'm ready for the one for my birthday. My cousin already got Callie ready.
Happy early birthday!
Enjoy your life, my man.
Finally, I'm starting to learn. And if there's any younger folks on here, please enjoy your life while you're young. Because don't wait until you're 50. Do it while you're young. Enjoy it while you can young, without the kids and everything. You can go backpacking with one bag and go places, go see something, and have those memories that you can think about when you sitting in your rocking chair on the porch with your cup of lemonade with a little something in it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna let you guys go so the guy can come on, because he's gonna be good. Bye, guys.
86,400.
Have a great time.
What is it? 86,400 seconds in a day. Every day they're promised to you, all of them. You get 86,400 seconds, and we all know a moment can change your life. Just one.
A scintilla of a second.
Just 1 second. And every day you get 86,400 of those seconds to utilize and do something important or not. Facts?
That's right.
We all start with the same 86,400. You don't get any more than I do, Belle. Not that I know of.
No, well.
Not that I know.
You want to be immortal?
Not that I know of. And that's why I regurgitated, Jenny, because I got it from you, boo. Yes. Thank you.
I love that. It all started over twerking.
Wait.
Y'all, I don't even know how to twerk. I have no idea how to twerk. It feels like I'm having sex in public. I can't. My hips can't do it. I just can't do it. Oh, I hate that.
Hi.
Peace and blessings.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Hey, that's blessing.
I was hoping that 86 was still up here.
86 could come back if she's still in the room.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I wanted to clarify, I'm not sure of everyone's age on here, but definitely in the younger generation, the word is not as, I guess you could say, harsh. That doesn't make it right. That doesn't make it anything, but I definitely, like I said, use it as a term of endearment. I will be quick to be like, bitch, guess what? Or bitch, da 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 da. Like, it's just the way we talk. You know what I mean?
Not private among ourselves.
I'm trying to justify anything, and yes, probably it is wrong to some people, but like,
it's not wrong to
it's not wrong for them.
Everyone's psyche. Any psyche that's hearing a word that you already know has a negative connotation and someone says it in front of you will attach to you. Whether you apply it as something in reality, when you take your actual mind and say, oh, that doesn't bother me, you actually are telling yourself that doesn't bother me. That doesn't bother me. But somewhere it bothered you. It bothered you. Because I guarantee you if the tone changed or if she delivered it a little differently, you can find yourself getting mad at the same word you just allowed.
I feel like that's with any word.
No.
You can use that with any word.
No.
If your tone if
It
your
can be used at
tone is
all.
a negative tone with any word, of course I'm
It's
gonna
the
feel some type
intent.
of
I
way.
want to
It's
say, oh my
and
God.
it's
Yeah.
applied to you. You are the bitch. Get it? You are. Like when someone is
I feel
saying,
like the younger generation has taken the word and kind of changed it, because I will be quick to say yes, I'm a bad bitch, and I have no problem saying
and
that I'm a bad bitch.
that's fine.
Like,
Right.
That's
I've never
that's
said
fine.
that. That's something new. But
That's
you know,
I
fine.
I know
know.
what you mean, but
But it's
Hey,
derogatory
Swaz, can
and
I
it has
try to
negative
explain it?
connotation. Simple,
Can I try to explain it?
of course.
So, basically, words were all made by us. And when I say us, we know who we talking about. We made all words, and we didn't make these words with any negative intentions. See, other people who got to our words perversed our words. They perverse very special words like nigger. Well, nigger is a perversion of the word naga. And if you look at what that means, I'm talking about in our original tongue, we know it's Native American, Ojibwe languages, Algonquian. Naga means the strongest warriors. That's what they called the men who dreaded their hair, was 6'4", and fought for the people. The warrior, our military was the Nagas. And when they heard that, they start calling us niggers, just like they did with what we was talking to Bunny about, the other day. But just because they came in and established a perversion of our words does not mean that those words have to have negative connotations. It's in the intention behind the word. It's just like the gun. The gun is not made to kill people. It's made to protect yourself. But it can be changed into a murderous weapon depending on the intention behind the gun.
I'm glad that you're willing to come and discuss this. And this is what I want you to understand. And I don't have no problem going back thousands of years with you. But I'm going to just take it back to recent history. All right? Now, do you disagree that trauma could be passed from a child, from their mother?
Yeah, I disagree.
So you don't believe that the trauma of a mother can be passed to a child. So you disagree with the current proposition that that's what's occurring, right? You don't agree with science. And I'm okay with that. You know I'm okay with that. We're talking to Swaz.
wait,
No.
okay, so can you say
If you
that
gave me some
again?
science, I would definitely concede and
Well,
agree.
it's been studied in science. Like, you got different animals and insects that they've studied that they found. Like, for example, the monarch butterfly. Right, this butterfly has the ability to traverse thousands upon thousands of miles, but this is happening over several lifespans. So the actual next life that comes in has to kind of follow the map somehow, some way, and this is something science has studied. So then we say, okay, let's just say, even if you can't born the trauma, right? It doesn't come in the DNA. Do you think somebody traumatized by those experiences can pass that on to their children?
I don't
Definitely.
believe that you can pass mental traumas to a blank
I
slate.
didn't say
Would
mental.
it really?
I said, do you think they could pass that trauma onto their children? Not the mental, not the fact that they actually dealt with it. Do you believe that they can take whatever trauma they occurred, right? Do you think that can then impact the children?
Okay, I need to know what kind of trauma you're talking about. We're talking about
Let's
mental
say
trauma.
racism. Let's stick with the word. Let's stick with Nick. I'm good with that. let's say racism. Good old fashioned racism, right? Do you think the trauma suffered by, say, your mom, if she was in a very racist upbringing, went through all of that throughout her life, do you think that could
And
impact?
then, okay, so is this what you're saying? So a woman, she goes through racism her whole entire life, being called nigger and talked down upon. And then she moves before she has a baby to a non-racist country. And then she has the baby there in that country where there's no racism. And then the baby hears the word nigger and goes ham and start going crazy. Like, that's what you mean?
Well, that's a little extreme, but I'll take. I'm ready to go there.
That's what you're saying. I mean,
I'm
that's
okay
what you're
with
saying.
that.
You're saying trauma.
I'm okay with the extreme response. I'm okay with it. But I just want to know: is it possible for a parent to take their trauma and pass it on to their children?
It's
I think
definitely
that it's very far-fetched.
Look, if you okay, so you think it's far-fetched that. So what do you think is occurring right now in neighborhoods all across America? What do you think is happening in
brainwashing? As mass brainwashing using these very items we're holding in our hands.
So you don't think that the way a parents has some impact on how those children deal with those outside influences?
I mean, it has a little impact, but at the
No,
age where
great
children
impact
start to
because
think for
your mom.
themselves.
Listen, has a great impact because if someone didn't properly nurture you, you might feel it's okay to just drop a tablet in a child's hand and let it raise it for 14 and a half hours. Some parents are okay with that, Polly. Are you?
Nah.
Okay, so what does it have to do with using the word?
Listen, the whole point. Look, what he tried to do was he tried to jade the point. He wanted to dilute the point. We're here now. That's fine. The point is diluted to an extent.
I'm not diluting the point. All I'm saying is, hear me. All I'm saying is,
only thing I wanted to say was the fact that the word nigger, right, has its feeling to us because the trauma is still close to us, right? And this is why, even though the word may be used as an endearing term, there's still a traumatic experience attached to it. So when people were saying it, whether you're triggered by it or not, it's still being internalized. We are so focused on the forward mind that we don't pay attention to what's occurring subconsciously. That's what I'm saying, Polly. I'm saying that the words that you use, whether you choose to acknowledge it or not, are still stinging.
Okay, but we were talking about the word bitch. The word nigger has a completely
the same thing.
Different,
only thing you gotta do. Listen, only thing you gotta do is be in the house and see your dad smack your mother and call her a bitch at the same time. That's all you gotta do to have the traumatic experience.
I didn't grow up in the household where my dad smacked my mom.
You're personalizing the situation. I'm saying it's very.
Well, we were just talking about, like being a child and that whole thing. So I was just trying to relate the subject.
It's like, hold on. Hey, Swaz, I think like it's like a name of. It's not like, okay, what's good, my coward. You know what I'm saying? It ain't you like you saying was.
Wait. Coward could just as easily become the it word.
Nah, it's not the same because coward has an attached meaning to it.
All right, I'm gonna show you how it can. Yo, can you not call a dude a lame and be ready to fight?
A lame?
A lame. Like you already know.
You call somebody lame
ass nigga.
It has an ebon. I'm talking about what's the meaning of lame?
Come on, Polly, stop playing. Can you be in front of a dude and say lame and be intending to beat?
I can sit up here and say, "Hey, you lame," and walk away.
Right.
But if I sit up here and call you a lame ass nigga, that's something totally different.
Wait. So you can come and say the word lame and have intentions to fight, right? And now the same way you could be with your boy, right, in the room, and the same thing he just seen a dude get smacked and beat over, right? When he don't pass over to something, whatever he did wrong, he don't pass the blunt right, he rolled it and went, man, you lame as hell for that. Like you could say the same thing, right? It's the same word, and have no. Listen, and have no power, but the sting was there. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the sting attached to the word. It exists for you. Feelings and emotions attached to you. They do. Whether we express them or not.
So am I not supposed to use certain words because other people have emotional attachments to the word bitch or nigga?
Just because as you saying it, you're doing the same thing for yourself you're doing for them.
How is that though?
Because
if that's not what it is for me, though.
You're saying something.
But if that's not, but if that's not what it is for me, I'm not gonna be worried about every person that's walking around that has an emotional attachment to what I'm saying.
Really? In 2022, you got the nerve to tell me that you're not gonna be concerned with what everybody.
No, I'm not concerned about my next door neighbor that's gonna have an emotional attachment
now, you
to
see
me calling my homegirl, to me hitting up my homegirl saying, "Bitch, guess what happened?" I don't give a fuck about my neighbor.
Wow.
Like, why would I care?
Wow. And we defend perversion. We defend silliness. We defend this shit to the fucking T. But when I ask you to defend why these gas prices is the way they are, or defend some real shit, or defend why my children keep getting killed in fucking abortion clinics, nobody want to come up here and be this fucking boisterous. It
You're
pisses
not
me off.
defending that right now. You're defending using the word bitch
I'm
or
just
the word.
saying, like, oh, y'all want to fight about the weirdest shit when you know any word, any.
But you're not fighting about that right now.
He's
You're
telling the producer.
No, JP, can you school him? Liz, you need a
Yes,
woman.
because I don't know you, sis. If I came on here and was like, you
please.
fat whack bitch, you'll be ready to fight. But if I came in like, bitch, you doing that, you be like, hey, bitch. So
different.
That's just the context. It still has some kind of meaning in your subconscious, like you said, because you know it can be used negatively or positively, and it affects you accordingly.
But if I'm not using,
your point is,
do y'all feel the same way when someone has a gun around?
No.
No, because that's basically what we're saying here. We're saying like, okay, someone there's a word that everybody has, or someone is using at this point in time. So let's say that this is there's no guns around, and then someone comes around with a gun on their hip.
JP,
you know,
watch this.
Do we all automatically feel a sting because we know that gun could be used negatively, or do we or do we also accept the fact that it could protect us, or it could be endeared toward us?
Yes, we do. But we also know when that gun is brandished, there is an internalized fear that people who have not prepared to go against that fear, they will react to. And why do they react that way, Polly?
So I'm not supposed to be a gun carrier because the other motherfuckers around.
Where you just went?
Yo,
where you? I need you to come back to Swazland.
Right there.
Come back here.
She did go
there. She pushed the envelope.
Come back.
She
come back
did
to
right.
Swazland, please. Where you at?
You're right.
About all
nah, she's trying to take me out of the. And then I was going to ask you also, Polly. I wonder if said gun was shooting you at the same time you were shooting it. Would you be as likely to shoot it if you knew it? If you knew that gun, when you triggered it, that it would release a bullet into you and a bullet into whatever you were trying to take out of here, would you be so willing to shoot it? Because that's what you're doing when you say the word bitch. Because you're saying it and your subconscious is picking it up. Everybody around your subconscious is picking it up, just like a straight bullet. Yes, you might have had an intended target. Yes,
no. See, no, the
you might
word
have had
bitch
an
is the
intended
gun.
target, but your daughter's now picking that dumb shit up.
So I'm supposed to be pressed because of everybody.
No, you can unpress yourself, Mom. I'm not pressing anything. I'm telling you, you can have an intended target and somebody else get hit. Maybe you're just strong enough. But everything you saying, some other woman that keeps hearing that shit. You can't try and argue this, but I know for a fact.
The word is the gun.
I can bring you to studies right now. Wait, I can bring you to studies right now. Wait, I can bring this.
Wait, every curse word. We can argue every bad word. We could argue every negative word. We could argue every word that make anybody feel any type of way. Whether it's lame, whether it's you're dumb, whether it's anything. Like, we can sit up here and argue every bad word in the dictionary.
No, you want to do that.
Hey,
you want to do that to justify this particular word.
Show the camera, JP.
One you want to use, right? But I'm telling you, just like any other
word,
your
camera around.
It would be the same thing. It would be the same thing. Any word that I choose not to use, I have the same feeling. It's just not that particular word. It's any word that has a negative. Because I understand that words have vibrations. And when you say them, whether you intended for it to mean something, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way, y'all. That girl could have had a bad day that day, and her day's fucked up, and that's just about the last bit she needed to hear. And that's why she picked up that bottle. And y'all don't even pay attention. Because y'all so busy. Man, listen to me. Listen to somebody tapped in with just somebody besides. I'm not just tapped in with me. I'm tapped in with y'all. Like I'm telling you, when you say the shit and it's going out of you, it's still staying with you and it's going into them. And whoever's around, they get to get the shit too. Thank you. Whether you said, hey, bitch, I'm sorry, you're the sweetest bitch ever. What does that mean?
You definitely have the right.
Let me say this. I say that the word is the actual gun, not the bullets. You know what I'm saying? The actual gun can be used.
Right now. It's a crazy accident just happened.
That's why I say you should have showed us. Why you ain't turn the camera around?
It was with my husband.
No, don't.
What?
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Get off the phone.
Hold on. We about to figure this shit out. Hold on.
Get off the phone.
I gotta get
All right.
Okay.
I hope y'all good.
What the fuck? I hope you all right.
Always something, man.
But this is what I'm saying. The word is like the gun because it can be used for good or it could be used for bad. That's why the gun is equal to the word. You feel me? Just like she said, she could use it as, hey, bitch, I love you. Or she could be like, you bitch. And so you can use the word just like you can use the gun for good or bad. That's why the word is the gun. And I don't want to get away from that analogy and that foundation.
What I want you to go look up, because, Paul, you like me, you need it proven in face, right? Because you've read through so much data that's changed over your life. So somebody's going to have to prove it to you clearly, right?
Nah. It's because I came up in this generation.
Yeah, you might need to see it replicated over and over again. All right, so look, I want you to go on YouTube and look up the rice experiment, okay?
The who?
The rice experiment.
Rice?
The rice experiment, love and hate.
Okay.
Okay? Look that up for me, and I want you to just go ahead and jump around. Watch a couple different videos, because you're going to see it replicated over and over and over again, bro. I'm trying to tell you, bro.
The rice experiment.
Power. They have power, yo. And I wouldn't be so adamant unless I knew. Because things that I'm not sure of, I won't speak like this. I promise you.
Yeah, I'm going to go and look at it right now. Let me go grab my phone.
That you're passionate about it.
No, I'm not passionate, man. I'm telling you, people have proven it. And I'm not talking about scientists. I'm talking about you can go do it for yourself. You. Just like if you were to go around a child and say a bunch of positive things and positive words, right? That's what they're going to hear. That's what they're going to go out and emulate. Yep. Now, if you say a bunch of negative things, that's what they're going to hear. That's what they're going to have to cope with. And that's what they're going to go out and emulate. Yes. Right? Do you disagree with that?
I can talk now?
I'm asking you, do you disagree with that?
No, I don't at all.
All right. So please talk. I'm sure. Go ahead.
We weren't talking about children at all. Hello?
I'm looking at the rice and spirit, you know what I'm saying, experiment. So let me check this shit out.
Like love, wisdom, and truth.
Let's see.
I love my people, man. I love my people. For me to be frustrated with you, I get it, man.
I understand that you're passionate about what you're talking about. I get it. Like,
it's the important thing that you do is what you say and what you think. It's the most important thing that you do all day. It's the only thing you have control over. It's what you say out your mouth. And you don't even want to control it.
Definitely awkward.
Anything
but I
do.
I feel like definitely, I don't know how old everybody up here was or whatever, but it's definitely a difference in generation, you know.
But it seemed like, I don't know, I would have to actually do the rice experiment myself because it seems like pseudoscience. So I have to do it. I'm going to actually do that experience myself.
Polly, I would love for you to do it.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll cam up while I'm doing it.
It's a 30-day experiment at the least.
Facts. So I'll make sure I cam up every day and we can check and see if actual labels.
And maybe we'll say hateful things in our most pleasant tones and see if that changes the outcome on one of those rice bottles.
I'm like, if that you can say that about every negative word, every single negative word.
Do you run around saying every negative word all day long? And do you use them with your friends?
Yeah.
Interesting. So you don't believe what pouring is what you get out, or no?
Call my homeboy nigga, just like in the first, I'll be like, bitch, guess
Have you ever seen somebody squeeze orange juice and end up with lemonade?
No.
So what are you expecting? What are you expecting, sis? What are you expecting?
Your analogies are like not the best.
What are you talking about? You didn't get that analogy? Have you ever seen somebody squeeze orange juice and end up with lemonade? Because you're squeezing negativity into something and you want it to become positive, yes? Or do I got a phone connection?
I'm positive. I just said that it's not as
So
big
what
of
do
a
you want for your friends
as
except
you're
positive?
trying to
Huh?
see.
What do you
Like
what do you want from your friends except?
My homegirl is not crying at night because I called her a bitch. Like,
what do you want from your friends except positive? Let me ask you that. Do you want anything negative to happen to your friends?
Not at all.
So
Why
wouldn't you want to be a positive influence into their lives? Wouldn't that start with the things you say? Wouldn't that start with the things you do and the things you say?
It definitely does.
So
it definitely does.
So
if this experiment is right, Swaz is right.
Thank you. And I want you to do it, and I want her to stick around and finish, and so she can see for herself.
You know what?
Because little kids that don't even, and Polly, I want you to study the ones that happen in little kids' classrooms, because those kids haven't built up the type of intent that you're looking for to apply what you think to those words. Am I right?
I could say yes.
Like, have they had enough experiences to really drive those words home? Like how when I say you bitch, you understand? You could feel all the times I said it in disgust. Like you think those kids could come up with that type of anger and passion for those words? I don't think so. I think they could just say them and deliver them. Sometimes they be a little angry, whatever, but it's not matching a adult's vibration. It's not. It's a little less influence is my point. It's there.
Yeah, I mean, that's the way that I have to, you know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't, if I can't measure something with my senses, you know what I'm saying? I can't, this is how my brain works. I can't acknowledge its existence. You know what I'm saying? And so since, I use the word nigga for myself, for black men, for white men, for Asian men, for Mexican men. I just use the word nigga for all men that I see. Now, I might describe the kind of nigga. I'd be like that white nigga or that black nigga or that Chinese nigga. But that's just like how we talk to each other coming up. Like since elementary school, like I used to be like, get off me, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't matter if he was white or black. and I think the racial connotation comes from a certain generation.
I agree with Southern. Because there are black communities that don't run around calling each other nigga all day, just like there are black communities that do.
And then there are white communities that do and don't also.
Yeah, and you can also see the difference in how those white kids that go back and forth with that whole nigga shit, how long they delay themselves before they walk into their whiteness.
So were you
That's
saying
what also
about
you'll see.
That choose
facts.
The word
yes.
As a endearment.
Yes, because they have labeled themselves. Yes.
So
Come
what
on,
do you
Polly.
say
No,
about
wait.
my friends
I love you,
that
but I'm talking about
choose to use the word bitch as a term of endearment?
No, mama. Listen. The reason, yo, Paul, you know why I'm hard on you? Because you have the ability for a lot of people to listen to you, bro. And you know that. You know it.
Yeah, facts.
And so if I know that you don't believe that the words you say out of your mouth can possibly trigger somebody to really hurt themselves, and you have zero intent, bro, I'm very fearful. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm very fearful, bro, because I hear where you're coming from. And you got to remember the armor you built up to get to where you are. You understand?
All right, but look at this too, Swaz. So I speak 2 different languages. You know what I'm saying? I speak English and I speak Japanese. In English, if I say the word coochie, it's a derogatory term
He's
for a
not listening
vagina.
to me. It's fine. I'll probably just.
I will listen to you, but I was mid-conversation. I was literally mid-conversation, and you interjected. And it's fine that you did that, but my mind was flowing, and it was flowing in a direction for that. So I wasn't trying to listen. I wasn't trying to stop your point. I was just trying to complete mine. That's all.
That's cool.
So if you have a point, make it. That's fine. But I was literally mid-point.
Fine.
Yeah, I was just saying, in Japanese, the word coochie means mouth, like your mouth. And so, you know, should I, now that I speak both of these languages and I know that the same utterance equals two different meanings, should I not say coochie when using mouth because someone gave it a derogatory meaning elsewhere?
I hear where you're coming from, but no, because I'm dealing with I'm dealing with words that have been formed in society, and movie after movie, you've seen what happened after bitch was used, and experience after experience, you've seen what
But
happened.
Swaz.
But coochie
All right,
is
so
not.
look, what if Swaz? We know what Swaz. Swaz has its own meaning. Swaz, let's say Swaz is a word.
Mm-hmm.
And Swaz is not a bad word. Swaz has its own meaning, right? And then white people get to the word Swaz
Mm-hmm.
and they perpetrate Swaz as meaning shit.
Mm-hmm. And
So every time
every
somebody
time you
take a
say the
shit
word
on a
swaz,
Hollywood
listen, every
movie,
time you say the
they
word
say,
swaz,
I
shit
just
comes up, bro.
swazed.
Yeah, but every time you say the word swaz, shit comes up, right? That's
But
what you're
see, no,
saying?
this is what I'm saying, Swaz. This is what I'm saying. Hear me out. Just because someone comes and tries to make your shit derogatory doesn't mean that it's actually derogatory. That's what I'm saying. It's like they can put on a Hollywood screen that you know good is equal to I don't know anything bad. Now, oh yeah, they can put on a Hollywood screen that good is equal to bad. Now you a bad bitch. Now
Hi.
being bad is good now.
Hey, what it do, what it do, what it do?
You feel me? So it's like words is words,
They defend
and
the madness.
it's really the intentions and the connotations that we use them in that make
Am
them
I allowed
powerful
to
or
say?
not.
I liked it better when we say nigga because we feel like it. I
Am
liked
I
it
allowed
better
to
that way
say
because
something?
at least we wasn't creating no fake ass story about it. But go ahead.
Should I raise my hand?
Yes, of course.
Okay. That's just like, say for instance, you be like, boy, you stupid as fuck, or boy, you stupid. Like, we use that as a joking, like, you dumb. So should I not do that?
No, you
Because
shouldn't, Queen.
it's like,
You should not, Queen. You should not.
okay,
Should not.
oh yeah, you doing too
You
much.
should not.
You too much.
I'm
You
not
too woke.
too much for me.
I'm not that woke yet.
I'm not even woke because I'm not reading
I'm
that
not
woke
woke
bullshit. I'm
yet.
just telling you you shouldn't. You asked me a question. I said I don't think you should because when you're saying those things, right? You might get into a habit of saying that and you start using that for your child. And he doesn't
No,
have the same
no.
armor built up.
I work with children and I don't. It's a different language, just like you have a different language at work, just like you have a different language with your family. You have a different language with your homeboys. It's different.
Well,
Like I'm not.
why does the language that you use with
I'm
the
not.
people you're
I'm
with
not
gotta be
gonna
traumatic?
use the word bitch around my kids. Like, and I don't have children on my own, but I do run a daycare. I'm not gonna use the word bitch around my kids because you just don't. Like, but when I'm talking to my homegirls, I have every right as a grown ass woman to be like, bitch, guess what happened to me today? Ain't nobody affected by it. Nobody's affected by it in any kind of way. Like, my homegirl did not go home at night and be like, oh, I'm so sad because you used to call me a bitch. Like,
Never said you
nobody
were.
do
Never
none of
said
that.
you were, sis. I never said. That's the problem. You might not see the effects of it, but they're being
Okay.
felt. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You understand?
Okay.
Just like Polly is seeing now what the experiment is that he's looking to try now with the rice. He's seeing like, okay, if this is true and I can prove this, then Sly's got to be right. There's no way that these words I could just say them and I can reshape something like this. You have to see it for yourself. Maybe you have to explore it a different way.
Facts.
Maybe it's the way I'm telling it to you. I don't know you well enough. This is why I build rapport with people and then I teach. You understand? That way, once I understand how you learn, then I can bring it to you. That's why I can get so passionate and strong with Polly, because that's how Polly presents, and so he can receive it that way. It wasn't for you. That's why when you jumped in it felt crazy, because it wasn't for you. I don't deal with women like this. Everybody knows that.
Okay. All
So
right. Well, you guys have a good day.
You as well.
if I know
Bye.
we're probably ending this part, but if I come in on this, I have noticed a correlation between the higher usage of the N word and the B word, and more of the ratchet culture infecting us, because words have, there's energy to words. And it's like, and then the thing is too, why I'm sensitive to it is because we're the most copied, as Black folk, we're the most copied culture on the planet. So everybody starts using our slang and everybody starts doing that. And then that energy affects them as well. You know what I mean? So I've never really met people that were super on their stuff and had high positive energy, and they overused the N word and the B word with each other. Me personally, I've never met that. I do see a correlation with it.
You see me up here, my nigga, all day. You see that?
No,
it's not going to happen.
No,
it's not going to happen. And that's
with
feel
me,
a connection to me, because I'm not hurting you incidentally. I'm recognizing that there's certain emotions you don't know you are attached with, that if I trigger them and I say them, I know that you might not internalize it and say to yourself, like, damn, Swaz always saying nigga, like, I can't be around that. Or I can't be around it if I feel a certain energy when I'm around it, right? So, like, whatever that is, I don't want to bring that, I don't want to invoke that, because I know it's something there.
Words have power to it and energy. And, like, words mean something. I think we don't realize that. Like, you don't, like, back in the day, you didn't casually say things or casually name people a certain name. There's energy attached to words, and they say that it spells, and it's true. And that's what I'm saying. Like, the language and the way we choose to communicate and all that, it does affect our programming subliminally, whether you realize it or not. It does.
Good morning, everybody.
Welcome to the live 777. I'm glad you're back. So it must not have been that bad the first time. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good.
I was listening to what y'all saying, and I wanna just say what Swayze is saying is your tongue has a power, and whenever you say these words, I want you to think to yourself: is it positive? Do you feel positive, or do you feel negative, or you feel tense? Right? When you say the word nigga, or you say the word bitch, are you saying it doesn't make you feel good at the end of the day, right? Whatever you say, when it comes out of your mouth, comes back to you. So I don't even like the word sis, because sis can be derogatory too now, where I'm not calling you a bitch, but I'm calling you sis to disguise it, right? So it's like,
I mean, but Mama, can I say something real quick? You know, like back in the 50s and 40s, like it was, you would fight somebody on the street if they would call you black.
Right.
Did you know that? But now today, we be like, yo, we black men and black women, straight, strong black men, Black Lives Matter.
Brothers trying to fight to get rid of the word black. Why you think there's so many brothers that have understanding, Polly, that once they get the light, they say, black, I got to get that out of here. That makes sense. There's no reason why there's 40 plus connotations to negativity, and there's one just for me, being black. I can't listen.
And let's think about who named us black. We didn't name ourselves that.
So the initial reaction was the true reaction, don't you think, Polly?
Right.
That was we were right the first time. Don't you see society get coaxed into shit? This is what they
Yeah, but the original reaction to the word naga is not one like that, where you fighting people and stuff.
Have it though. That once the oppressor had it and did whatever he did and started hanging us and putting balls in our mouths and saying, "Look at the nigga swing, nigga change." Get it?
Okay, and are we not just as powerful to change it back?
Are we? If there's still people being killed and hung under the word nigga right now, are we really that powerful?
Yeah, I think that if they can change the word to black, you know what I'm saying? If they can change the meaning of black.
But see, the word black now, now there's a pride when you say the word black, right? I'm a beautiful black woman, beautiful black men. It's a pride when you say it now. So I don't think it's as derogatory as it was back then.
That's what
Right?
I'm trying to say
But
about
the
the
word
word nigger too. Like when I be like, yo, that's my nigga, you my nigga, hell yeah, dunk that shit, my nigga. Like I'm trying to motivate you. It's a term of endearment. It's just like saying, Black Lives Matter. We black people.
So actual
I'm for
question:
the
What is
black
no
people.
Holly?
but when you fighting with a guy,
I'm
you're
just,
not gonna be like, yeah, that's my nigga. You
no,
be
you
like,
don't even got to
oh,
say
those
that.
them niggas.
Watch this. Watch this. When you're fighting with somebody, why do women say you black bitch? If black is so positive.
I mean, but it's an
No, stop
adjective.
there, Polly. Why, if I'm trying to be as insulting as humanly
Okay,
possible,
all right,
I'm
so let
about
me
to
say
fight. I'm
this.
like, you
If it
black
was
bitch.
a white girl, she would say, you white bitch.
Nah, come on,
Right.
Polly.
You see,
I'm telling you,
it's an adjective to better describe the kind of
you
bitch
need
who
to
she's
reiterate.
referring to.
You really need to
Black
reiterate.
bitch, white bitch. It's it,
Like if she was going at a Chinese bitch, she would be like, yo, that Chinese bitch. The word before bitch is just an adjective to describe the kind of bitch she's referring to.
right, but it's not.
I know
And this is what we're trying to
I
say.
know what you're
It's
trying
a
to do,
negative.
but now you're forgetting that if you add a positive to a negative, and the negative weighs more than the positive, what happens to the positive?
Negative. It goes
No,
away.
it's not
What
necessarily
happens?
black.
Stop.
Like,
Oh, what happens? Stop. If something
but
is
you're
negative,
describing it as two negatives.
no, I didn't.
Like,
I said if something is positive, right, and something is negative, and the negative outweighs the positive, what would happen to the positive?
there would be no positive.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But
I will say this
I
though.
don't get what you're saying when it comes to that situation. How you're referring that in that
Because you're
situation,
saying
right?
the
Well,
positive, and I'm telling you, you're attaching it to a negative, right? It's already negative. Black is already
No,
negative.
no, I'm
It's
not. I'm not
consistently
taking a
negative, right?
positive and attaching.
Listen, any other form of fashion used in our language is consistently negative. Consistently.
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give you the one time it is positive, and I'm gonna tell you the word bitch and all its negative outweighs the one time black is positive. That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Are you say for instance, have you ever heard someone not use any curse words at all, but say words in such a manner to make someone want to commit suicide?
Of course.
Okay, so then can we say that it's not the actual words that he's using? It's the intention behind the words that he's using that's getting to that person. Because he could have
But I
used the
think
word
that's what
nigga, bitch, and black and white, but he didn't use none of those words. He used all polite words or regular words and had the same, if not a worse effect on the person.
that's what he's saying. What he's saying is the words that you
No,
that
he's not saying that. He's saying the word itself carries an intention.
Yes, because
That's what he's saying.
but they do.
the word
But they do.
has negative actions connected to it because
What
that
is the
word is
intent behind
the
the word?
reason why I'm saying it is normally before negative events
Okay,
words
question.
are used,
Question.
Oh my
right?
God. The gun
All
has negative connotations attached to it too, but it's the intention behind the gun
It's
that
a
makes it a
gun,
crime or not.
so not a word.
Okay, question, Polly. If I call you a bitch,
Uh-huh.
is that an insult to you?
Yes, because I'm not a woman.
Okay. No, but see, if
It's
I
because I'm
call
not a woman, and that's what bitch
you,
equals in my language,
but it
woman.
can be give and take. It can be because you're not a woman or because you're a man. The word in itself triggers you.
No, because nigga
I'm
doesn't
a
trigger
woman
me because
too.
I equate nigga with man. So if
But the
you were to
thing
call
is,
me bitch, I would equate that with you calling me a woman. Do you
because,
understand? That's
but what
why
I'm
it's
saying,
negative for me. But if I was a girl and you call me, hey, what's up, bitch? I would accept that because I equate the word bitch with what I am, a woman.
okay, but so you're saying, but the same thing goes for another woman. If a woman calls me a bitch, that's an insult
Yo,
to me.
intent is
That
both.
That's a
that's
degrade.
no,
That's
no. I
degrading
guarantee a
as
woman
a
can call
woman.
you a bitch in two different ways, and one would be an insult, and
It's
one you
still
would
the
just let
same
ride.
word. It doesn't matter. It's still the same word. It's still the same meaning, no matter how you say it.
It's not
No
the
matter
same
how you say
meaning.
it, to me, is degrading. to
I know that's because that's how you look at the word, but someone who doesn't look at the word, it won't have that effect with. That's what I'm saying. It's our generation. We grew up with in the twerk era with social media and phones first came out. That's my generation. And that generation, just like watch this. And the generation before us, watch this, the generation of people before us, they wore baggy clothes. Very baggy clothes. And we did not wear baggy clothes. That's just when we didn't do that. Like, it's just different strokes for different folks. We like, watch this. We equate baggy clothes with slavery because we know that in our day we was brought up in this common information in my generation that they used to put baggy clothes on a slave so it'd be hard for them to run away. But back in that days, that doesn't matter to them. But it's not something that's bad or good. It's just how their culture is.
And in my culture, they put clothes on gay supermodels. That's why we didn't wear them. And does that matter? You see what I'm saying, Polly? That's material. I'm talking about the words, bro. I'm talking about the things that you use.
I'm just saying it's a part of the culture that you came up in.
The way you talk to your best friend, the way you talk to your woman, the things that you pour into people. I ain't talking about no things, bro.
Yes.
You keep talking about guns and this and that. I'm talking about people. Them shits
I'm talking because we're talking about words. You mean the word could be used like the gun.
The words that come out of your mouth
you keep connecting it to a material. I'm talking about what you say, what you do, the vibrations, the energy that you bring forth to this planet. Have power. Whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you think. This is a fact.
Okay. Yeah.
This is a fact, bro. Y'all keep trying and shake it. You can try and break it. This is a fact. Because I promise you, if you go in front of the mirror every day and say, I ain't worth nothing. I ain't worth nothing. I promise you, by the end of that month, you will see your life quickly catch up with your fucking phrases. I don't got to guess. I know. That's why the first.
And this is the thing.
When you try to bring somebody, I'm going to just finish this point. When you're trying to bring somebody outside of feeling bad for themselves and different whatever mental issues that aren't really like actual issues, like things that could be worked through, they'll come on things to tell yourself, things to believe about yourself, because it's stuck in you, and what you say out of you is also going to affect everything around you. If you keep saying bitch, 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 don't be surprised why everything around you looks like a bitch.
Being a bitch. Oh my God. And the thing is too.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie. That last one right there, Swaz, you might got something with that one, because it's like, yo, that's exactly what I see around me. So
that's what we're trying to say. Whatever you say comes back to you. And I sit on this app and I hear people say so many times about affirmations and speaking positive over your life, pouring into yourself, but the same people also defend words that are degrading. So it's like, we need to do what we preach. If you want positive things to come to your life, well, then you have to speak it. You have to say it. You have to say, even if I say to myself, I'm nothing, I'm dumb, I'm fat, I'm ugly, those words are demeaning to me in my character. And so I had to change what I was saying to myself, right? So that I can move on and be to bring love back into what I am. Yeah, these people told us that these words were negative and we used them because it was a comfort. But these words that we're using are destroying who we are. When I call a woman a bitch, I'm talking about myself in a derogatory way. If I call my brother a nigger, I'm talking to him like he's my slave and degrading him. And so if we're talking about Black power and we're talking about we love each other and we're trying to uplift, those words have to be replaced with something much beneficial. Because the thing about it is that he's not a nigga, but he's a person right now that you're talking to that looks just like you. And if every time you speak to him, you say these words, well, then you're saying it to yourself.
Can I ask you, what is the definition of a nigga?
The real definition of a nigga from the real word means king. right? It's from the word negus. Negus means king.
Okay,
What they
so let me
did
ask
is
you.
when they brought it back
Mm-hmm.
here, they turned it, they changed the spelling, number
Uh-huh.
one, and
Mm-hmm.
they changed the meaning, and it means slave. It means slave now. What
Okay.
Tupac did was he took back the word and changed it back and said, no, we're going to use it for, we're going to, bring power to the word and bring a power of endearment, right?
Basically, we're
And
gonna
what he
reverse the negativity that they've done.
and change it into a positive.
Polly,
That was the intent.
thing too.
But let's be
He
honest.
emphasized.
When we take the word nigga, we don't have no positive. There is no power that comes from that word anymore.
I mean,
There's
let me
no
ask you
power.
something. Let me ask you something. If
Mhm.
there was power that came from the word before,
Mhm.
and then someone came and took the power, basically pushed propaganda in
Mhm.
order to convince people that it meant something that was different.
Mhm.
That's all they did. And
Mhm.
now there's propaganda of truth coming to let people know the original meaning of that word. So
Mhm.
shouldn't we be moving toward using or educating the population on the real meaning of the word and reclaiming the propaganda of our original word for king?
But when you say the word, are you thinking about the actual meaning, or are you thinking about the word that was
I
redesigned?
think that's person to
Can't stop.
person. You can ask
That's
that to
wait,
everybody who
triple
uses
seven,
the word.
777. That's the thing I keep telling y'all. You have no power over your subconscious. So whatever the foremind, the front mind, the frontal, whatever you want to deal, frontal cortex, whatever, however you want to identify it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That may process it the way you like. It may do it just the way it's supposed to be done for you. But the
Mm-hmm.
subconscious does not have the same type of mechanisms. It doesn't work that way. That's why you're attacked in marketing through the subconscious. Not cares about what's going on the front. You got too many freaking barriers there. I'd rather go in the sub. Way easier to work.
Yeah, whole time you're right about that. But whole time, your conscious thoughts change your subconscious mind.
Vice
That's
versa.
it. No. Your subconscious guides your conscious thoughts. That's what
Vice
it does.
versa.
So
You know, people learn languages while they sleep, right?
yeah. I know.
So,
You can
like,
learn a language while you
and
sleep.
you would know that's not the conscious mind taking in that information. Yes.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
But
So we know the subconscious obviously has the ability to learn without us, bro.
Mhm.
Come on,
yeah,
Pop.
listen. I know. I said this. I said that the subconscious mind is all knowing, and
Mhm.
and it guides the conscious mind. The conscious mind or the subconscious mind is cut by the conscious mind, and that's why you get the actions that we do, our behaviors. Our conscious mind is between our subconscious mind and our behaviors. But if we train our conscious minds and have conscious understanding, the more conscious wisdom and understanding that you gain through knowledge and experience and
Mhm.
educating yourself, you change your subconscious mind. And I can show you this. The subconscious is control of the lower parts
Good
of your
morning. Good
brain.
morning.
This is facts right here. Hear me out. The subconscious is in control of lower parts of your brain, and um those particular parts are regulatory for like breathing and your fight and flight, your paranoia, and stuff like that. And through understanding in the conscious world, your natural anxiety goes down.
I agree.
Mhm. Mhm.
And,
I
and
agree.
so so through the
But
conscious mind, you
listen. But I'm gonna put it in your mind just like this. Think of a sharpshooter, right, Polly? Right?
mhm.
Remember that he still, after maybe 10,000 shots in, has to compensate for the increase of his heartbeat.
Mhm.
You don't think he want to
Facts.
be in control of that, bro?
Yeah, facts. He can't be.
He can't be. Think about what I'm telling you. He can't be. There's certain things occurring within inside you you have no control over, bro. You have to face that. And the things that you
Yeah,
allow to
facts.
be around you, when you just have music playing, shit just blaring in your ears, things that you are not consciously in control of, they're impacting you, bro. Detrimentally to some.
Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna keep it real. I see where you're coming from, and I understand your position, and I understand my position, and although they're they have some similarities and some contradictions toward one another. I think that the rice experiment will solve all of it.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So I'm hitting the grocery store today, and so
The rice experiment.
Oh, you never seen that 777?
No.
All right. So it all started with this gentleman from Asia. I try not to get stuck on names and dates, but it's like it was shocking. And he did an experiment with classical music and water.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And so from that experiment, so you know about that experiment. So I'll tell everyone else. So
I know that one too.
The classical music he played while the ice crystals were being formed. So he froze water, and while they were being formed, he was playing certain music. And what he noticed was that there was these different patterns that was being presented from the different music. And what he noticed was rock and roll, he had these very jagged pieces, right? Then they did like pop music of the day, whatever that was, and it had like, not as well shaped, jagged, like, you know what I mean? But then when he started playing classical music, these perfect defined shapes, like patterns, almost like snowflakes, started to form in the water, right? And this is where they got that theory that it would be smart for us to play classical music as I sleep, because obviously, since we're 71% of water, wouldn't we want to internalize that crystallization like a snowflake? Because that's the perfect thing. It's dropping straight from God. It's never been touched by man. See what I'm saying? Makes sense, right? So that's when we started saying, okay, we can grow food with it. And then he took it a step further, and that's when they studied the rice. And they said, okay, well, if the music has the ability to do it, the different rhythms and sounds and clangs,
then a label,
right? Let's try with words, right? And then people said, okay, we're going to take two bottles, some three, and they take one and they say love, hate, and on another bottle they'll put ignore, right? And they ignore that bottle, the bottle with the rice, and they'll give positive affirmations to the love and negative to the rice, so the negative to the one that says hate, right? And after consistent doing this on a daily basis, there will be three differences in the same environment. Makes it odd, right? Because they're starting with three of the same things. They're controlling the experiment as much as they can up until the point where they just leave them on their own and do those affirmations. You understand? And certain things occur in rice that
I'm gonna say this:
do and do not. You say it or don't say it, and you ignore it.
But it's some real shit, Swaz. I'm about to say. If I buy these 3 jars, put the rice in there, and label these jars,
I'm gonna do it,
and this motherfucking experiment work, it's gonna be a very pivotal moment in my life.
We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it.
Do it.
We're gonna do it. I'm gonna put the word. Okay, he just fill it with rice. That's it.
You put a little bit of water. It was a little bit of water. A little bit of rice, and then what was being seen most often was the love affirmation flourished. It created a whole new ecosystem, right, inside itself, and the hate just turned into rotten funk, and the blackened and disgusted, and it ignored. Some experiments tended to be even worse than the hate. Right, the one that got 0 affirmations, that got completely ignored and allowed to just, I guess
that happens with plants too.
That's why I always tell parents it's even better to be a negative parent in your child's life than be completely absent, in my humble opinion, from what I know.
But see, that's the thing that I want to ask. These words that we say, why don't we speak to our children that way?
Oh, I do, sis.
Right? You do? You tell your child bitch and shut, like.
No, I don't call them. I don't know. No. I'm saying I make certain not to say things that
But that's
I
what I'm
know
saying.
can be attached to negative connotations. Like,
but that's what the question I'm asking.
Oh, I thought you were saying it the other way.
No. Like, since we don't say those negative things to our children because we don't want them to pick them up, right? Shouldn't that say to you that those words are negative and that we're using it with each other? Like, there's a reason why we don't tell our children or speak certain ways to our children because we don't want them
I mean,
to
but
pick
we
up
don't
those.
tell them that black is negative because black is just a color.
No, you know who tells
And
them
just
over and over?
because
Well,
I never
that's
knew
what we
black was
learned.
a derogatory term until you said it.
Yeah, but
So,
yeah,
black
did you
is
listen? Back in the
a lot.
40s and 50s, if a
You
black
never
person was
knew.
to call somebody black on the streets, they would be fighting to the death.
Yo,
That's not true.
are we,
But
wait,
sorry,
my,
But
you
yes,
wait,
it
never
wait,
heard
is.
that black is
wait,
a negative term.
wait,
You've never heard that before.
wait, wait.
Yes, the word black was a negative term in the 40s and 50s.
No, I'm talking to the lady here. You've never heard that before. That the
I
term
never,
black.
I never, I never equated black to be a negative term.
All right, so
Yeah,
look,
I
I
know
mean,
you never, but you do know that outside people
of
they
course,
look.
but we
Oh,
don't use it. We don't use it to hurt each other, do we?
no, we
We
don't.
don't
But look,
use
this is
it.
the problem. So this is the problem. So when you first look up the word black, right, and this is
Mm-hmm.
anybody outside of our culture, and we're trying to
Mm-hmm.
identify us and try and connect to us, right? They would look up
Mm-hmm.
black, right? If they didn't really
Yeah.
understand, maybe they watched some weird movie. They trying to figure it all out. They go and
Right.
study, right? They pull it up. Okay, so the first thing you see, black, color or pigment, right? Black clothes
Mm-hmm.
or materials typically worn. First of all, we're not even identified nowhere up here. Okay, let's
Right.
be clear with this. All right, typically worn
Mm-hmm.
as sign of mourning, right?
Mm-hmm.
So black entails some sort of death, right? So
Mm-hmm.
they
Mm-hmm.
talk about black death, right? All the time, all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Darkness, especially of night or an overcast sky, right? So you think of
Mm-hmm.
darkness, void, nothing exists,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then you got
Mm-hmm.
the player of the black pieces of checks, right? And it says a
Yeah.
black thing, especially a ball or a piece in the game. Then finally we get acknowledged after they identified those 4 to 5 negative things, right?
Mm-hmm.
A member of a dark-skinned people, especially one of African or Australian Aboriginal ancestry, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the problem is in our culture, every time they associate black with another word besides us, it's
Yeah.
negative. Think about it. Just think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Black on
I agree,
In
Swaz,
my
but you will
see,
ask our leaders and everybody across the country, do they mean bad when they say my black brother?
again. I'm gonna go back to what I've been telling you. I have no time for what you mean. You might not have mean to hurt somebody by what you said and they take their lives. Does it matter
Oh,
what
you
you
mean you doing the same thing the Crystals did?
I'm saying does it matter what you meant, bro? We keep talking about
It,
the intent thing. Does it matter what you intended?
okay, I
If
get
you
what you're saying now,
does
Swaz.
it
You're
matter?
saying like the utterance of the word is a vibration itself,
Yes, it
just
don't
like the
matter. Your
classical
intent.
music.
That's why they keep saying their intent. Your intent has zero to do with how it lands. Has zero to do. You could have intended to shoot nobody and you shoot a child. Wasn't your intent, right? That wasn't your
mm-hmm.
intent.
Yeah, facts. Facts.
So
So you
Facts.
the intent
You know
doesn't
what?
matter.
I'm gonna have to look into this more, Swaz. You didn't see this that number one
yeah.
man guy shit right here.
I appreciate that, Polly, but I'm not a god. I'm just
Oh,
here, bro.
it's it's a thing of like,
I'll
damn,
take
this is what
PAW,
they
though.
did. Like, because you know,
Nobody opens my eyes, Swaz. You know this.
I know that, bro. But I took a
You know
long
what I'm
time. I had
saying?
to study you for a little bit to be able to connect to you. You know that. Took some time. I give you that
Yeah,
much credit.
but it's not like I was really running away. You know what I'm saying? I, I'm I'm aware where the fallacies in my argument are, and I'm aware where I think the fallacies in yours are, which
Mm-hmm.
is why I'm saying the reality is going to show itself. I'm not saying that I'm right.
And we interrupted 777. Sorry, 777. You were saying? I apologize.
oh me, oh
Yeah.
no, I was because the thing is, you know, I'm from Ghana and I'm from here as well. So some of the words that we say, especially in Ghana, is viewed as an insult, right? So like here, if I say the word stupid, you know, nobody's gonna say nothing to me. But if I say the word stupid in my country, it's a huge insult. You don't say that, right? Or like if you say like, are you serious, right? That's like or somebody saying like, you know, over it's like different words have different connotations in different places. But the word black as well, our flag has a black star, and the black stars are viewed as, you know, the champion, the power of the people. It's like our soccer team is called Black Stars, right? And so the word black in our country is not viewed negatively, you know, but I understand how here it can be viewed negatively because it was viewed that dark was, you know, of course, evil and stuff like that. So I'm learning. I'm actually listening, learning from what y'all saying.
Listen,
Cause,
I normally don't come across that strong, but
mm-hmm.
no, I know who I'm dealing with. And he knows. He knows what I got to do. If he don't feel like he's like near the voice of God talking to him, he ain't paying attention. That's just how he is, and I respect it.
But also, can we think about this? Like, I know that the word is negative, right? But if we think about it, to get to the light, you gotta go through the darkness, right? So it's a period in your time where the dark is the most powerful, right? It's the most dominant in all of the colors, right? So it's like they made you
You
think
can't make no color without the starting with some
without
sort of
exactly,
color. You need
and
some
I
color to make
paint
a color, sis.
exactly. I paint, right, and so in order to make my skin color, I gotta go with the darker shade and then mix in the lighter shade to get my color, right? So it's like I know they flipped it and it made us think that the word black is a negative thing, but for me, it's actually a powerful thing. It's actually a thing of like I'm proud to be a Black American. I'm proud to be a Black woman, right? So I think during the time of the Black Panthers, the word Black started to uplift people. That's what I'm thinking. But
Well,
if I'm wrong,
I would love to
correct
give the
me.
Black Panthers that props, but that goes to James Brown. I'm black and I'm proud. He was paid money
Yeah.
from the white people to give us the word black. So I wish I could
Mm,
rest on that, sis, but I know too much. You feel me?
yeah. Yeah.
I
You
wish I
see.
could rest on it, but that's not
Yeah.
the case. They lobbied
Yeah.
for us to take that word on, just like they lobbied through Jesse Jackson for us to become African Americans. So
True.
I can't just accept it, and you're
So
accepting it.
today,
You're
so
coming
today,
here,
what we
and there's a lot of people that don't really know. Somebody's got a loud background, but you're coming in and probably you're learning from certain people that haven't really studied like the way they've
right?
changed us from we were Indians first though. This is what they don't
Mm-hmm.
want to talk about. They don't want to
Mm-hmm.
talk about that. They don't want to talk about the fact that we were Indians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And until we start getting back to that and why we were Indians and who were we before that? Because obviously we were something before that because that was the title they gave us at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Then we getting somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
Because
a
my
it's
grandmother, I got a picture of her, and she's sitting in a chair. Her name was Mama Coop, and she had this long hair all the way down to her knees, two braids. And that's
mm-hmm.
my mom's mom's mom.
My
And that's
grandma
only
Emily too. My great grandma Emily too. Two
yeah,
long braids
that's only
down
four
down her
generations
chest.
from me.
That's a fact.
But
Grandma.
even us in our country, on my mother's side, even though we're dark skinned, right? On my mother's side, our babies come out like white. They come out like very, very light. So, or even us, I feel as if, you know, some of us are also, um, how you call it, um, mixed in with each other, right? I feel like the whole world is mixed in with each other because of slavery. I think we're all like so many different cultures and things, which why it makes no sense that we fight all the time.
Well,
Because
you
I was even
know, I think we circumvented the world first. That's why
hmm
every time they get somewhere, we're already there.
right.
We were already
Even
doing.
Asia.
We explored all of this, everything from
hmm
the Arctics to the poles to the Antarcticas, to the Hawaiis, to the Sri Lankas, to the corners of Africa, to the Capes, all of it.
Yeah.
All of it.
All
We
of
went to, we touched everything. They can't even go to freaking where you want to say?
But that's why.
Come on with a spot. Antarctica? They can't even go there and not find our black asses. They can't even go there.
It's true. But that's
So
the reason why.
we did some powerful stuff before anything.
Exactly. Right.
Because they didn't go to Antarctica and settle anything. You understand? So
but which is why
we've been all over this world. We're special people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I appreciate you so much, Swazee, because I grew up diverse and I grew up different. My mother was so strict, and I hated how she raised me. I hated it. But you know what I appreciate now? I appreciate it now. I love it the way she raised me. You know the simplest thing as The Simpsons, right? Just a cartoon that comes on TV, but it had racism in it. It had derogatory stuff in it. If I wanted to watch that, my mom would say, you got to write an essay on why you want to watch that. That's how my mom was. And guess what I did? I didn't watch it. I'm not going to write an essay on that. This is not school. But my mom mind tricked me. And she was like, no, you're not going to watch that. And if you don't want to watch it, you're going to explain to me why. And I never would have been able to come up with a good enough reason. Like she didn't let us watch what's the TV show that all the comics was in?
What now?
No. And it was really racism. And Jennifer Lopez was her first thing she broke out into.
Oh, Living Color?
Living Color. I couldn't watch that. I couldn't watch anything that was derogatory. And she kept us strict, and she kept our minds strong. Like when we did something wrong, my mother checked us right in the door. She didn't let us slide with anything. I'm like, damn, my mama's so strict. But guess what that was? It was structure. That if you do something wrong, that consequence not going to wait on to you for later. It's going to get you right now.
And
I don't
applaud
go
you.
ahead.
So, Little B, what do I consistently applaud you for? Your accountability. Your ability to step in your own. And when people have that, this is why when you speak, people listen.
Yeah. And I love it. But it's like it took, and I went through a period of rebellion. Because I was like, I'm not going to do what Mama want me to do. And guess how much trouble I got into? Just because I was trying to rebel one man. I was getting into it with people. I was negative. I was using negative words towards black people, white people, whoever. And I had to check myself. And I had to grow back into who I'm supposed to be. Because tearing people down does nothing for me. Why am I doing it? Why am I tearing another person down? I don't care what race they are. I've had a lot of bad situations happen in my life. And I don't get mad at men because one man did something. I'm so tired of women that take abroad to every man for what one man did. I'm mad at women for whatever woman slept with your man and now you're mad at all women. Come on, man, let's get right what I'm wrong. Why are we? And it was like I was so frustrated with the conversation of moving the goalposts and moving words. Why are we moving? We are the most race of black people that accept too much. We accept what people do to us. We accept how people treat us. Why? We are kings and queens. We are the most loving people where we accept anything that somebody gives us. We accept a man cheat on us. We accept that our mama wasn't this. But guess what? My mama wasn't the best, but she wasn't the worst. But she showed me structure in my life, and I grew into the person I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
But it came from where I come from. Like she wanted me to be great, and every day I strive out to be great, even if I fall. I did the next day and be great. Like I'm so tired of us tearing each other down. We're just as bad as everybody that we talk about outside of our race. Because we're in our own race tearing each other down. We don't big each other up when we do something good. Man, why that wasn't me? Why I couldn't have it? What are you doing? If one of us win, we all win because we're changing the outlook and the expansion of where we came from. We come from greatness. Why are we calling each other B? Why are we calling each other the N-word? I don't change for nobody. The same way I am with my kids, the same way I am with Swazee, the same way I am with my mother. I'm the same person. You know how many people you got to be to keep changing? You got to change around your kids, vice versa your mama, vice versa when you go outside. You're not even you. You are a shadow of you, of who you could be. Because now I got to be different with my girls than I am with my boys than I am with the world. What are we doing?
Can you speak to your ability to abstain from all toxins? When I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, I want to get directly into. I want you to say it because I feel it's such a powerful statement when you make it. You understand? It really drives home things that when people believe that we all got to do something. You understand? We all got to go. You know what I mean?
So let me. I'm gonna look backward of me, right? A little backstory of me. I've never smoked or drank a day in my life, and everybody around me do it because my mental is strong. I'm not influenced. I don't believe in peer pressure. I don't believe that somebody can tell me what to do and how to do it because I am me. And if I follow behind somebody else, now I'm just as worse as them, and I fall down the rabbit hole of who they are. Now, who am I?
So
I use my mind for everything.
So you think people that smoke and drink are
I
that
meet
way?
people all the time.
You got to remember, she's coming from a non-clouded point. If you're smoking and drinking, right, and you're going to go to somebody who's never done it before and ask them if they see a difference, and you don't think they see a difference, bro, come on, bro.
That's not what I asked.
You see a difference. I'm just saying, you just see a difference in between somebody using more than the other person in the same situation.
No, listen to what she said, though, right? She said, I don't smoke because I can't remember the exact words she used, but
I go back over it. I don't smoke or drink because of my mental and because I never want to be afraid
you said you're mentally
my
too
decision.
strong.
No, I'm mentally strong within my decision not to do it. That's the only thing. I don't care about who does it. I had a girlfriend that was an alcoholic, and I bought the liquor. That didn't change me. That didn't make me sit down and drink with her. She drank every day.
Why would you buy that? Why would you buy an alcoholic liquor?
Why would I buy alcoholic liquor? Because at the end of the day, she was going to buy it. And half the time, she gave you the money. I tried to change. Now let me tell you this. By the time we're in a relationship, she was not. Because I kept talking. I kept using my words. I kept using my love over the bottle that she thought was better than anything in the world. You can't take somebody out of something that they're not ready to come out of. You have to change as they go. You have to use your words in a positive way, not negative. If I would have told her every day you're alcoholic, you think she would have changed? I told her every day she was beautiful. I told her every day she was stronger than that bottle. And she literally came up out of it as I kept positive, not negative. It's a way you got to do stuff with people when you know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
I couldn't have told her in the beginning to stop.
That's what makes you special there, because you do realize if God would have put almost 70 to 80% of the people in this world in her life, they all would have failed the mission.
Yeah.
You had to see someone with your type of strength, that ability to say to herself and question herself and say, no, do I need it? Like if she's getting through all the things I'm going through without it, do I need it? You understand?
Right.
And sometimes you just there to provide an example. You might not even court her. You might have just gave it a blueprint for later on in her life where she said, I know I could do it because I seen somebody walk. Like, you understand? You don't. I get how important it was for you not to use it. And that's why I bring it to the table. And I know people are going to challenge it and feel a certain way. But I've dealt with people before that have never dealt with any type of anything. And I know it for a fact. You understand? They ain't dealt with nothing. And yes, they do have a different outlook on things. I must say, they do.
I'm one of them.
My mind is always open between the negative and the positive because I get the negative. Because at one point in time, I was negative in my life. And it was only because I was trying to prove a point that I didn't even get to prove because it was stupid. It didn't make sense to be negative because I was only hurting me. I didn't hurt anybody else around me because they kept on living with their life and they kept on going. I've had traumatic situations happen in my life and good situations. I do not conform to what has happened in my life. I keep pushing. I keep striving. I don't tear black men down because I didn't ever have my father in my life. But I don't tear black men down because I didn't have him. I only go around and I build off Swazi and I build off Pretty and I take the positive out of you guys even though it's going to be negative. Because that's what makes me be able to adapt in the world that I'm in. If I take everything negative that I didn't have and be mad at every man, now I'm part of the problem and not a part of the solution. Like, I have had so many challenges in my life, and I just keep pushing. I'm not going to tear nobody down. I'm not going to tear women down. I'm not going to tear every black woman down because a black woman hurt my heart. Or a black man tried to rape me at one point in time or tried to take advantage of my mind because he was at a low point. That's what happens when you're at a low point. You have no digression over your mind. You just lash out. I get mad at the statistics of people that say, oh, you can't do this because of this. You can do whatever you set your mind to do. Is it going to take a lot of hard work? Is it going to take a lot of overcoming things? Yes. But you have the ability. And I only brought that statement up to say is if you stay on somebody that wants to change, you have the ability to do it. If they don't want to change, it's nothing I could have done. Telling them a person is wrong when they know something is wrong, that's what we do as people. We beat a person down with the wrong. You have to beat a person down with the positive.
I agree with you, Jess. Social norms are definitely a destruction to our people, unfortunately. Because everyone we have adhered to has been detrimental to us. The fact that I talk about the fact that we're not properly populating ourselves, we're not. Not. We brought the freaking bullshit. We believe we should have 2 kids, maybe 1. We would prefer 1. Let's be honest. Yes? And for everybody that's running that ball, you know what's happening, y'all. We are literally cutting our numbers in half. Off the bat. And now you got to deal with all the social norms of people not making children. What?
Yeah. I have 2 kids. That father's never been in their life. I don't care if the father does.
We have so much. We always take away the decisions that we make. Everything we do is a decision. And we like to fit reality to what we want it to fit to, which is why we make things okay. A lot of things we do is not okay. The things we're fighting for is not okay. But because I need to correct what I've done wrong, my choices, fuck it. We're going to fight for all these things that are clearly wrong.
This is what's clearly wrong. I need y'all to start paying attention to those things. Like when you see somebody talking like that and saying how they don't want to basically think about anything but themselves, check them. Check them. Ask them, you only see yourself at the end of the day? At the end of the day, what do you see? What do you see? What do you want to see? What would you like to see? More people? Because are you planning for them now? Are you planning for anyone to come here, or are you just doing it for yourself? Because if you're only doing it for yourself, fine. Fine. But just remember, somebody had to do it for you.
People just need to take accountability for their actions.
Accountability. That's the key word.
That's it. Well, we had accountability been driving the week. It was the word of the day a couple of days ago. Obviously, the word of the week because I had to draw it back.
No one else is the reason for your discretions.
Yeah. I hear the black on black crime, but that's cut the numbers in half, and then we killing each other. What? How do we stand a chance? And then they're not going to tell you. No one's going to tell you that if we do 2-to-1 and match their energy, our numbers are nowhere near theirs. We can't match somebody that has 225 million in a populace and try and run the same ball. They cut their numbers in half. There's 115 million of them. We cut our numbers in half, but there's 15 million of us. Really?
So you're speaking on just America, though. Remember, Africa is populating the black population.
How can I fight for something? That's not my fight, bro.
He's not it.
And people
I'm
trying to get my people to wake up, because in Africa they making plenty babies.
Mm-hmm.
They're making plenty. I don't gotta fight for that. I already know sooner or later somebody gonna get it. But here, if we follow this plan, we follow this shit, it's over.
Mm-hmm.
It's over. Easy math, bro. If we do it again, another generation, it's over, bro. It's over.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like, y'all don't see that? Everybody did it. Everybody just 2 for 1. Everybody did it. There's a couple 2 for 2s, and all y'all kicking each other in the, for the women that had the 6, 7 children. Y'all throw that. Y'all want to thank God for them, for all the oneers. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
How many people just one because it's easy? Oh, the room is not big enough when there's 18 people in one room in these goddamn Mexican houses. Stop telling me.
But at the same time, Swazee, the only thing I got to say about that is that we have to build our black women back up to be able to raise these kids.
Why do you think I'm fighting for these relationship issues so hard, little bit?
Yeah.
Because
you're right.
Because I see what I need to get us back in love again.
But how do we
we gotta love ourselves first.
That exactly.
It starts
like
that's the biggest problem.
It starts.
These women don't love themselves.
Right, and it starts when we all, both of us, take accountability for how we treated each other, and how we speak to each other, and how we act with each other. You know, I love the conversation of, but it's like sometimes it feels badgering, and it's like, let's both come together and say what we have done wrong and apologize for how we make each other feel. We're going around saying, well, he said this to me. Well, she did this to me. Well, it's always a get back. We want to get people back. But it's like, no, you got to forgive. Number one, our community has a problem with forgiveness, of just walking away, of just saying, you know what, you did this to me. All right, cool. I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna give you another chance. Because we want to be the last to be right.
I have a problem with forgiveness. I'm not gonna lie, but I don't let it hold me into the spot that I'm in. I keep pushing past and I keep working on me, because I've been so good to people that it be hurting me that people are doing me wrong or say something to me in a negative way. That's why I get a little frustrated sometimes when I'm on Instagram, because I always have to open my mouth for a person to look at me differently. They just won't look at me and say that's a good person, and it's okay. And I'm always prove that I'm a great person. But if we stop looking at the outside of a person and love each other until they give us a reason not to, we'll be one step ahead. But I always have to fight and defend myself that I'm a good person. As soon as I open my mouth and I start speaking, then they be like, oh, she's cool, she's good, that's the Sam.
I go through the same.
Until, you know what I'm saying, I prove wrong.
Trust, I go through the same. I've been kicked off of a lot of lives for saying the truth, right? But it's just like, some people are not willing to hear what you're saying, what Swayze is saying, what I'm saying, because they are not mentally there yet. They're not spiritually there yet, right? And so what I do is, when they don't understand me, I just say, I just pray you get to the point where you start to understand me. I just pray that you heal enough that you start to hear me. Because if you're talking with your trauma, well, then all you hear is what? Trauma. But once you start to heal whatever's hurting you, well, then you'll start to see, oh, Rose is right. Oh, Swayze is right. Oh, my girl here is right. Like, because now you're thinking in a place of, I want to love again. I want to have fun again. I want to be positive. I want to be more successful, right? You're speaking into yourself, pouring into yourself things that you never did before, and you're breaking those walls down. A lot of us walk around with this thing on our shoulders that's so heavy that we think that we can carry it by ourselves. And I'm the first person to tell you that God is my one that I go to when I have a burden, right? And I just say, this is what's going on. This is what's happening, God. You take it from me, right? And so it's like when I do that in the morning, like in the morning, I go to my window, I say my prayers, I tell God my problems, and I move on from it. When I do that, I leave it there and I go about my day. It gets that pressure off of me. A lot of us are so combative with our words because we're hurt. We're hurt. Just say that you're hurt and we can help you get to a healing place. But if you're always attacking me and you're always coming at me, well, then how can I help you to get to that healing place? And I see it in a lot of our brothers. A lot of our brothers are hurting. You cry. In my poem, I always say, your face is frozen, but your tears are frozen in your face. Because what it is that you're crying, but you're crying with your voice. You're crying with your mouth. And so it's not that you don't love women. You don't love the woman that treated you the way she treated you or talked to you the way she spoke to you. And so it's my job as a sister to come to you and say, what happened? Tell me. Tell me what we can do to help you, right? And if I'm coming to you, don't reject me. Don't dismiss me because you think I'm trying to hurt you, you know? So it's just like we got to get to a place where we're having honest dialogue. And it's not always going to be pretty. It's not always going to be, oh, peaches and cream. It's going to be angry. We're going to have tears. We're going to scream at each other. But at least let us hear. I said this morning. Listening is a love language. A lot of us don't listen to each other. We don't listen. Literally, if you sit in a room and you just hear what the men are saying and what the women are saying, you both are saying the same thing. You both are literally saying the same thing to each other. I don't like when you degrade me. I don't like when you do this to me. I don't like when you're dishonest, when you're disloyal. I don't like, you're both saying the same exact things to each other. If you listen to each other and realize, damn, I've been hurting her. I've been making her feel incompetent. I've been making her feel like she doesn't belong. I had a black man tell me that's why he want to go to a white man because he didn't want to deal with black men's attitude. That's hurtful to me. Because then that means you don't think that I'm valuable. And I'm already growing up in a world who tells me I'm not desirable at all. In any race. In any generation.
What do you mean by that? The attitude is valuable?
No. What I said was, What I said was, damn, I missed my thought. Sorry.
Nah, you probably flowing. That's why. It's all good.
Yeah.
And that's Rico. He'll just catch 1 point and a whole 47 sentences and like, yeah, but what about just right there? Huh?
I was going. I forgot what I said.
But that's Rico. That's what strong minds do, right, Rico?
Oh, yeah.
They drill in. Can you let her finish next time?
But I want to hear him talk. He ain't really said nothing.
Because he's too busy trying to find somebody to debate with. Well, I'm not going to call it debate. I'm going to call it sharpened steel. You're looking for somebody, okay. I know Rico.
I've been listening
intently. Yes? Listening with intent, right?
I don't know if you're trying to play me, bro.
Yo, how am I trying to play you? Oh my God, that's too intent now. Now you're too fucking intent. I'm telling you that you have the ability to hone in on things and you like to make your points once you catch them, yes?
He's a debater. I
I
understand.
just wanted the answer to what she meant. Cause I was listening to what she said.
Oh,
I
Rico,
don't see
what
what
are
she was
you?
doing.
What type of? Are you trying to become a politician?
Never a day in my life.
I think so, because you're evading.
But what I meant by ask your question again because I just recruit. So ask your question.
You guys said something along the lines of, you know, the man said, I don't know. I think because you kind of messed up the words,
Okay.
but I think it's a woman that was with a black
What I was
man and said,
saying, yeah, what I was saying
yeah,
was I was on a man's live where he said that this is the reason why that
with the attitude.
he goes to us white women because he doesn't want to deal with our attitude, right? And the thing about that is I'm not going to change my strength because you deem it as an attitude, right? I'm not going to modify who I am as a woman because you see it as intimidating. It took a long time for me to get to
Wow.
this point where I'm confident enough to be in my own skin and be in my own voice. And so therefore I'm not going to be less strong, but I'm going to be mindful of the things that I say because maybe it's offensive, right? That's a different thing. But to say that you would rather go to a white woman because she gives you quote unquote peace in where it's like for me and for the white women that I speak to, they're saying, well, what does that mean about us? Are you saying that we're weak? Are you saying that we're gonna take your stuff? Because it's like, no, they're not, right? So when you say things like that, as a black woman, for me, it's offensive because it's like, well, I'm just here to tell you the truth as I would tell my brother, as I would tell my father. And I
But
can,
why do you consider it intimidating?
because that's what he said.
Okay.
That's what he said. That's what I'm repeating to you. But sometimes, and what I hear is we want our women to be back in the house. Well, when did we leave the house? We're still here. It's not, we haven't left the house. We took on our careers and our we took on our goals and dreams, and we didn't forget about you. There are still women who go to work, who come home, who still cook and clean and take care of the home and you and your mom and your whole family and everything in there.
But
So
777,
the
I gotta
question,
stop you there, Queen. Queen, I gotta stop you there. But I think that hurt us. That didn't empower our people. By our children being raised by these systems did not do us any better. It did us much worse. And we all have careers that at 60, you ain't going to give no two shits about. But the kids you're going to care about to the end of your day. Which one should have been their primary concern?
the
This is the
kids, of
problem.
course,
And see, the
but
problem
why?
is, listen, when you can actually, in your mind, think you should work as hard for something that won't last to the end of your days, I hear where you're coming from. I hear you. I feel you, right? But it's something y'all brought into. That was never the. Even when we were working for them, you would have your children on your back. This is a fact. We brought into this shit. This is not us. We are not designed to be this way. I know it for a fact. I see us in other societies that aren't as built up, and this is not how we act. I understand women want their own, but it can be done without leaving our children to be designed by someone else. And then we don't recognize them, and then they come in our house and they try and change the words of wisdom that we actually developed over 60, 80 years of experience, sometimes 40, whatever that is. They come and tell you what's right and what's wrong. They
So,
come and
Swazee,
tell
can I
you
ask
what
you
you
a question?
Why is the woman the only one responsible?
Because the woman is the nurturer in every society. You literally have the king that
it's
cuts.
not about.
Listen,
it's not about the woman being responsible. It's about that's what he's speaking about right
that's
now.
the onus right there. The onus is on the woman. You are the nurturer of the home. You start like it's just like a mother who is so concerned about her job she forgets to make her son breakfast every morning. You understand? Do you understand? He might not ever recognize the impact that he has in school, but everybody dealing with it. Everybody.
So Swazee, from back in the day to now, who do you think has to conform more, the woman or the man? And I'm just talking about the black.
There is no middle. Both of us need to step it the fuck up. The boys, the fellas need to put the video games down. They need to stop fucking dealing with shit and running up scores in fake places, right? That's number one. You got to create things that actually have some tangibility, something that we can see. We are creators. That's why when you go to the motherland, you see nothing but creativity. We create. We're not meant to be mundane, repetitive, over and over, repeat some shit. That's not what we're designed to do. We are creators. Go create something. Make something, build something, design something. Use your mind. Don't allow the confines of this system to determine your own reality. You don't have to do it. No one has to do that. That's a choice. It's a choice. Yo, I play in this reality. Like, I literally come in here and play with it. Like, the things I'll take so serious, I play with it. You understand? Just like I could go play in business. I play with this shit. I play with it. You know why? Because it's my reality. I design it. I don't conform to nothing. Just like he said, those conformities, I don't conform. I don't have time for conforming. If you're going to tell me I got to do something, you're going to tell me I have to work for a living, I got to go to a company just to get the benefits I need for my children, how about I go to 2 of them, assholes? You understand? Or 3 or 4. And you all pay me at the same time because I said so. Why not? Only you determine whether or not that's an option. Right? But
who do you think pays the most? Women that don't have a real mother or men that didn't have a real father figure?
I'm going to say both.
How about women who didn't have their fathers either?
Both.
That I was once he answered that, I was getting to that next.
I don't think
because I wanted to see
there's any removal of any parent that isn't important. Do I believe that the role that we currently have fathers in is appropriate? I do not. I do not think it's appropriate. I do not, lady. It is not right to try and take a man and subdue him. It's not. It's not for your best interest. You want him to attack the world. You should be looking to what is it that you could take? What you should not be looking for him to take on the roles of your responsibilities. The reason why you feel that way right now is because you took on some of his roles and responsibilities. And men, instead of you saying, "Damn, oh well, she worked 8, I worked 8," like what up? Well, you know, if you can't take at least 4 of those hours away, then fair. Yes. That's just unfair that you expect her to come home and do everything. That's unfair. And I understand where a woman's coming from. That's why we're designed to go out and get those other 4 hours for you. You hear me?
Right.
That's what we're designed to do.
Well, I think where I'm coming from is, like what you just said. If I am not able to do it, then you also have to pitch in. If you are not able to do it, then I also have to pitch in. It's a partnership, right? It's not a dictatorship. It's not a you do. No, we do it together. My last relationship, when I was surprised, actually, because when I was in the kitchen and I was like, "Hey, can you cut this for me?" Just to see if he would do it. And he actually did it, right? I was in situations where I was the only one doing it. So while he was helping me, he would be like, "Hey, you get the clothes." You see, I was living in Ghana, so we wash clothes with our hands, right? So we would get the water. He would get the water from me. I'll be washing the clothes. He'll get the soap from me. I'll be, you understand, helping me to do things. While we're both doing, we're doing it collectively. So it's like, it took pressure off of me and also off of him about things getting done. If we do it together, it gets done quickly. It gets done perfectly. Teamwork, right?
Was he?
And that's
Ask you a quick question. Was he from Ghana? And did he have the same similar upbringing? Did he have some sort of attachments to us, the Western world?
No.
Okay, so let me ask you about this. Wait.
I mean, did he have Western?
Wait.
Oh, yeah.
I want you to take this in your mind. Who's your first and second generation? Were you first generation here?
No, I'm second generation.
You're second generation. So do you believe that those generations before they got here did exactly just that, what he expected from you?
No, I don't think so. No.
So you don't think that everything he's seen prior to seeing you in Ghana, right? The women were handling those responsibilities would have geared what he expected from you?
Well, Ghana's still
but
the way that it was back in the days where the women are the ones who are cooking and cleaning and doing the clothes and doing most of the housework, and the men go out to work. So it's still literally the same, but it's just it has changed because of
how many children do the women
differently.
Well, let me ask you. But wouldn't you? Wait. And how many children do the women in Ghana usually have? What are the families like?
We can't judge every family, but my family,
majority.
5 kids, couple kids,
majority.
no kids. Do they?
Yeah, we have a lot. In my family, I have 6 brothers and 4 sisters.
So can I ask you, your job? Listen, if we're here, right, to ensure that there's a future for whoever we produce, right, we continue to produce. Who was successful? The woman that sat there and just cleaned and did laundry all day, or the women that are here and are producing 1 or 2 children? Who's more successful in continuing the population? Let's be honest. Who's more successful?
I don't know how to answer that question because
you don't want to answer the question because it shatters your reality, and I get it. That's why people hate me, but you'll learn to love me too.
I mean, you have women in Ghana who go to work as well.
I'm not
who have their own businesses.
Listen, you're reaching. Listen, you don't have to reach for a truth. You just have what I'm telling you. What I'm telling you is what he expected from you is what he's seen. You get it? And what he's seen is what he should have expected. You see?
Right. You're trying to make things fit your reality.
And what I need you to understand is, I understand your success in this society, but I just told you we're not successful in reproducing, in my humble opinion. I know you guys got to wait for somebody to tell you. I get it. But I'm telling you, look around you. Just look around you. Just look around you at the choices the women are making to continue our society on in this society. Are they choosing the children or are they choosing themselves?
But that's an unfair question because I can ask you the same thing because it takes 2 people to have a baby, correct?
No, yes, of course it does. But you're saying that only because if we decided not to conform to the current structure, if we said, listen, hon, I already know you out from 6 to 6. I already know that. You understand? We need those 12 hours from you. And what I'm going to do, babe, is I'm going to find some sort of nighttime something. Maybe I'll do something 7, 8 to 2, whatever it is, you understand, to supplement a little bit of money. If we redesigned it, our women would be able to take care and want to have more children. They would want to do it. They would want to.
So the question is, why are women not ask the question of why they don't want to have children anymore?
We conformed. We believed that their way was the right way. We believed in what we were seeing. Once again, we seen something. That's what we began to expect. Simple.
And both the situations changed. The man state of being changed and the women's did too. And with everything under that, it fell. It fell under every situation and category because the man wasn't standing up and doing what men normally did and take care of the household, and then that left the woman to stand up and fall into a role that she wasn't even adequate to do or wanted to do.
Agreed, but I also know that a lot of men were pushed out of households. A lot of women chose them over men. A lot of women went into getting pregnant just to have a marriage with Uncle Sam.
Men cheated. A lot of
yeah,
men
but
would
listen. There's a lot of
Lord.
all of these lottos, right? And you see how we get caught up in these different lottos, and they don't.
Here we go.
Right, but we have to find some actual way to proceed forward that does not match the majority. They can afford to play in this country. I ain't talking about Africa. I can't. I live thing. I don't know what's going on in Canada. That's not my thing neither. That Rico, you might understand your plight differently. You may say, "Nah, what you bugging, man?" Every time I see a black family, it's 5, 6 kids. Cool, say less. But that's not the case here at all. And anyone that walks in America, they know. They already know. The ones that are continuously reproducing are not the best of us, unfortunately.
Exactly. Because make
sense. Wait. Make that make sense, black people. We take our best genes and limit it to 1 and 2 children and let the rest just go ahead and go procreate. Where you think that's taking us?
Yeah, my girl sister has 12 kids, but it ain't in a great quality of that she has 12 kids. It is not.
You said
she just shows man. Go ahead.
You said she had 12 kids out of wedlock, basically.
Yeah,